Welcome to Truth Uncompromised. I am your host, Rhonda. Join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Truth is peace. Truth is justice and freedom to love, live, and be. Music provided by SourceVibrations.com. I am love. I am peace. I am free. I have abundance. I have everything within me. For I was, for I am, for I will always be. We are love. We are peace. We are free. We have abundance. We have everything within us. For we are, for we will always be. For Mother Earth is love. For Mother Earth has peace. For Mother Earth is free. For Mother Earth has abundance. For Mother Earth has everything within her. For she was, for she is, for she will always be. And so it is spoken. So it has been written, and it is done.
All right, family. Welcome to the Truth Uncompromised show. I am your host, Rhonda, and tonight is Thursday, January 10th. And we have a great show planned for you tonight. I know the promo said that we were going to continue with Demonology 7, but we have a special guest tonight. We've been talking about his work over the past month. Brother Kali from the YouTube channel, Kali Maat AmunRa. He will be joining us at 7:30, so we're going to chop it up with him about the phenomenons that's been happening in the skies, what this all means. So he will be joining us at 7:30. So I'm really excited to have him on the show tonight to chop it up with us. So let me bring in my co-host. I see Brother Sean and Sis Sandra. Let me bring in Brother Sean right quick. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Wholeness and power, sis. I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm well. It's good to hear your voice.
Likewise.
All right. Let's bring on Sis Sandra. Peace and love, sis. How are you?
Peace and love to you, Sis Rhonda and Brother Sean and the family. I am doing great. You just made my day. When you announced that he's on there, I am so excited about that.
Yeah, real cool, brother. What
Great.
happened? Yeah, I put the promo out before I had got the final confirmation from him. So yeah, I'm happy that he's able to join us tonight. I mean, real cool, brother. So that should be great. to have him
Yeah, because
chop it
the
up
world
with us,
is
'cause
off
it's
the
a
hook
lot.
right now. We got to see what we can do.
know. Yeah,
God.
there's a lot going on, and he's been dropping, of course, a lot of information with him still tracking stuff in the sky as well. So yeah, I'm happy that he's going to be on, so we can all chop it up with him to talk about those things.
Yeah,
so
I got a double rainbow myself yesterday. I said, "Oh, look at that!"
Yeah, and I guess we'll save it from when Brother Kali gets on, because it's been off the hook in Cali.
Yeah.
Rap the News put out something earlier this morning with Cali once again. Yeah, and then Brother Sean and I'm telling you, it seems like every time I'm looking at something, he's looking at something, and we sending each other back research, and it be the same stuff we're looking at. But it is so much going on, you all, with the plasma hitting the skies. Oh man, so
right.
I can't wait for us to get into that tonight. So I'll save my Cali stuff for when Brother Kali gets on. So before he gets on, do Brother Sean, you have any go ahead on with the fuckery? Because he's gonna text me when he gets on the line. So we got a couple minutes.
Yeah. This whole R. Kelly distraction. I mean, they bring this stuff.
That's so crazy.
Right when they got military tribunals going on.
Mm-hmm.
And our people have lost their mind. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the R been doing this for how long?
Well, I'm from the Chi, so I know for decades. Since he came out.
Exactly. So everybody around him should be going down. That should
now
be.
That I 1,000% agree with.
Mm-hmm. All of them should be on their way to get more too. Because to me, some of that stuff sounds like human trafficking to me.
That's exactly what it is. And you know, interestingly enough, somebody, I don't know if it was Sis Linda or Sis Cheryl, they posted a video of, and y'all probably remember this, Kevin Spacey, the white guy that played on House of Cards, the actor. He played on a lot of other shit, but his last work was House of Cards. He put out a cryptic video on Christmas, I think it was. Here's where I'm going with that. Anyhow, somebody put the video back out and kind of slowed down what he was saying word for word. And when the cup he was drinking out of, the coffee mug, had a symbol on it from Queen Lizzie's, one of her motherfucking events. And the words that he put out, that he was talking in that particular video, and I don't know if it was Instagram or YouTube. Y'all have to go search that for yourself. But it was basically sending out a message to all of those folks that get down behind the scenes with the babies that if I go down, y'all motherfuckers going down too. So let's not play. Y'all was cool with me when I was getting down like that, and we was all behind the scenes getting down. So you will not use me as a sacrifice. If you do use me as a sacrifice, it's going to be some other folks going down. So I'm saying all that to say, and I said, you know what? That's what this R. Kelly stuff is about. Folks are dragging people out to put them up as the sacrificial lamb because now all of the prosecution is coming down the pipe for the dirt that people have been doing for centuries and decades. So, you know, my whole take on the R. Kelly stuff is, number one, I'm disgusted. I just didn't wake up out of the bed being disgusted about it. Everybody's been knowing it's been going on. If you live in Chicago, you know, we knew it was going on. The police department in Chicago knew it was going on. Matter of fact, it was said that he was hanging around school, waiting for the girls to get out of school and all that. So none of that shit is new. It's wrong. He's a sick man. All of that. But not only him, everybody around him, including the adults, the people in the industry. The only one I'm riding with are the girls. Everybody else can go somewhere. But at a deeper level, let's take this up to a deeper level and talk about these secret societies. They knew that shit was going on with that man. He got away with it because, number one, he was making them money. And number two, he was obviously in some type of order where he was protected. But now that his value to make them money isn't like it used to be, and all of these allegations are coming out about the child trafficking, the child pedophilia, etc., they're going to keep throwing some of their members to the wolves as the sacrificial lamb. Mm-hmm. So that is what's really going on. His contract with them is up. Okay, so that's what I have to say on the whole thing. Sorry, Brother Sean, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to get that out.
Ain't no problem, sis. Go right ahead.
Okay, sis Sandra, did you have any? Go ahead on with the fuckery.
Well, you know, the other distraction is they got Trump impeachment things going down. And I'm thinking, and that guy says he's the most corrupt president that we ever had. I said, you got to be kidding me. What's your problem? They are trying to take everybody's mind off what's actually happening to this planet. And that young man who's also being sacrificed for so-called shooting that little girl, you know, I said, man, did we go back in time or something where they took us
hold
down?
up. Who? Why do you feel he's being sacrificed? Now, I got to go in. Why is he being sacrificed?
Because it's a symbol of who we are. We are going.
I need evidence. I need evidence on why he is being sacrificed.
Well, we always have been sacrificed. We've always.
Sis, that's not what I asked. We not finna do that today. Because actually, that was going to be my go-ahead on with the fuckery. We're not going to do that. You know, now, if there is evidence that he is the sacrificial lamb, he's being set up, he's a patsy, I'm cool with that. But now, I don't agree with every bad thing that happens with our people that's in the headlines that it's a conspiracy against them. It's some bullshit.
Wait a minute. Did she say he was a white man with blue eyes? That's what I'm getting over here in my news.
That's what my news is. The little girl that was the melanated little girl that was shot, and then it turned out that they said a melanated man wound up he's the one being charged for it. Is that the event you're talking about?
Exactly. That's the event I'm talking about. They said it was a white man with blue eyes driving a red truck. That's what it's saying on my news.
Okay, so tell me again why he's the sacrificial lamb.
We've always been that way.
I'm not talking about we and always. I am specifically talking about this particular young man that is being accused of shooting this baby. How is he white? The sacrificial lamb.
Is he white? Does he have blue eyes? Does the other one? Is he white? Is it a misidentification? Or what's going on then?
Okay. Here's my take on it.
Okay.
I do not feel that every time charges are brought up against some of us, and I'm going to throw the R. Kelly shit in there too, for the simple fact it's a conspiracy. This is the problem I have with quote, quote, us. And I'm putting us in quotations because me personally, I'm separating myself from that fucking us. We have predators and parasites in that quote, quote, melanated community. And we are responsible for cleaning up that shit and calling people on their shit. Now back to the R. Kelly bullshit. That's a prime motherfucking example. It never should have got that out of control. You wouldn't have to worry about, well, why ain't they bringing up such and so's dirt and such and so's dirt and such and so? God damn it, it was melanated people around him. That shit should have been shut down a long time ago. Just like in the quote, quote, melanated neighborhood. The killings that's going on. The violence that goes on. We have to check each other. Now, that's my personal go ahead on with the fuckery. I'm not fucking concerned about what the white man is doing, how they comparing us with the white man. I could give a rat's ass. It is our responsibility as people to be accountable to each other, to be accountable for our family, to be accountable for ourselves individually. It starts at home. And
I agree.
That is what's missing and what nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about that. The sickness, the virus in our own community. So that's the only reason I'm so strong on that man. Now, if he's not guilty or whatever, I have no problem. See, I'm woman enough to own my shit and say, I apologize, blood. I accused you falsely. But what I'm not going to do is just automatically jump up and say it's a conspiracy against somebody. No, I want to wait to see. Because, bitch, if you did it, that's it.
That's right.
Out.
That's right. I agree.
You out. So, and I'm not coming down on you, sis. You know how I am. I'm just saying in general. That's my go ahead on with the fuckery for
our young men get in these gangs, and the badges of courage they get is to kill somebody. And so, but then again, you got her statement that is all over the news, and then they're changing it. So this is, and you see the truck on the camera. So I'm just waiting to see what's going down. Are we the sacrifice on that? That's what I say. That's what I'm getting.
I feel that, and I respect that. But I did just want to put that out there. Just in general, because every time something goes down negative, it's the white man trying to bring us down. We talking abuse within our community, and R. Kelly ain't the first motherfucker that's been accused of that bullshit. And in every situation, every last single situation, the victims, especially our babies, our motherfucking babies, you can't even side with the motherfucking babies. That's sick. So I'm putting it on record. Don't include me in that motherfucking us. Because there is a difference. And when we say cleansing, I ain't just talking about the white man, goddammit.
That's
the melanated people are going to be cleansed as well. And you know what? We're going to be cleansed harder because we are the oldest. We fucking know better. I don't want to hear no excuses about trauma, none of that bullshit.
No.
Because you ain't taking that shit over to the white man's neighborhood. You ain't motherfucking molesting their children. You're not beating on their women, disrespecting their women.
No.
So miss me with the bullshit. It's time to take accountability. I'm not co-riding, co-signing, justifying for none of you motherfuckers. Conscious community, conscious motherfucking pimps in the motherfucking pulpit, YouTube scammers, paperwork scammers. I'm not riding with none of you bitches. You're not a part of me. And you have to answer for that. You will answer for that. So, all right, that was my go ahead on with the fuckery. You brought it out there, sis. I'm just saying, y'all. We just got to keep it real. Let me bring in Brother 832 and Brother Kali, when he gets on the line, he's going to text me. But if you are so happen on the line, press *1, and then I can see you, and I can bring you on, or you can text me as well. Okay, let me bring on Brother 832. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Rhonda!
Hey, brother.
Sandra! My sisters from other misters in 2019. Feathers up!
Feathers up, brother.
Niggas and crackers down. John! I'm not the listen. Don't let the thunderbolt down tonight. You know, since I'm in H-Town, yeah, man. Since I'm in H-Town, let me put just a slight correction to Sandra's observation. She is correct that the 15-year-old elder sister who put the description out, and here's what we're being led to believe locally, was traumatized and focused on an individual, and I'm using air quotes here, that may have been standing on a street corner. That is the white male with blue eyes, thin face, etc., what they put out as the sketch, which may or may not be true. He may be a person of interest. You know how they love to say that, person of interest. He may have been in the vehicle or not. I'm stressing by saying may. You know, the two individuals in question that are melanated, as you harangued about, and by the way, I'm probably 100% in the corner with your outrage, but here's the thing, all right, and this is just my 2 cents. Those two black males, so-called black males, one of which is now saying the other is the trigger man, and in the same breath saying he wasn't there, so how the hell is you going to say the other guy pulled the trigger and in the same breath he's saying you weren't, anywhere around. Right. Then you have the ability of us to not, because it's an emotional thing. This is a 7-year-old girl. There's also some other issues that are clouded, like, how many baby daddies the mother has, which is irrelevant.
It is.
But,
it is.
You know what I mean about these kind of
there. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's where the system is not under scrutiny. This is where I understand both sides. I agree with what Sandra's saying because the fact remains, when we deal with the context of law enforcement in America, the paddy rollers, the slave patrols, and everything else, we are the usual suspect. Okay, we can go on and on with examples historically as well as currently, from Emmett Till to Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice. Okay? At the end of the day, in agreement and lining up with your outrage and saying that we clean up our own, all right, here's the predicament with that. Number one, we don't have the resources. We're not in control. People are elected the same fuckery that you just pointed out. These punk-ass niggas in the pulpit, these black elected officials, these turncoat cops, lawyers, judges, etc., who claim to be black, are in the system. Now, I'm sure you're already well aware of the documentary by Ava DuVernay in 13, talking about the 13th Amendment, talking about how the slave system of using slave patrols and so-called prisoners, I'm talking about with the major offense of what's called loitering, reckless eyeballing, wolf whistling. These are all things that were used to scoop so-called black males up and put them in the process. By the way, just another little historical note for the local H-Town presence. The beginning of prison labor, do you know, in 1861 was created here, literally. You may or may not be familiar with imperial sugar, but you may have bought a bag a time or two in your adult life. Sugar Land is the name of the plantation and the current unincorporated city outside the boundaries in proximity of the city of Houston. But in 1861, it literally started here, where prison labor was farmed out. Okay, so having said all that, I'm just saying that to lay the context for understanding the position, response, collectively and individually, that Sandra made. Now, for your outrage, particularly, which is not only legitimate, and this shit has to stop. Let's start with the context of the Me Too movement, the hashtag, the black woman who started it back in, 2006 or something of that nature, 2006, 2009, talking about the same victims of allegedly, of a Robert Kelly, of black female teenagers that went unacknowledged. Now, what did the white bitches, Barbies in America, which we now have, what's the latest account? Barbecue Becky, Hermit Hattie, what's her name? Convenience store Carolyn, whatever. Did you see that one where the little young black male child who just happened to be walking by her and his book bag supposedly swiped her, and this stinking cracker ran out the store screaming and hollering, got on the phone, calling the police of being sexually assaulted by a 9-year-old. Now, when you got a Me Too movement that is incorporating the outrage of the white feminist lesbian movement, targeting whom, I might add, who has almost, at last count, what was it, 50 plus, Sandra? Almost 60 for the right Dr. William Edward Cosby Jr. Okay? That's where they built the mountain of slander, right? Now, again, you're correct, Rhonda. Who gives a damn about Les Moonves, Harvey Weinstein, Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose. You get what I'm saying here.
Right.
None of whom, by the way, are in a court. Do you know when the Harvey Weinstein trial will start? In May. That's the news as of today. Now, you made a very interesting statement. It was either you or Sandra, but I think it was you, about our good pedophile friend, Kevin Spacey. Not only did he send a message or symbolism, have you seen the latest, as you talked about the Chi, have you seen the latest from Illinois? Because Pennsylvania still has 300 pedophile priests and pending, none of which charged, right? What's the latest situation in Illinois? Isn't that coming to a head?
You mean with the priest?
Yes. But see, it really matters not that we express outrage about white supremacy, not does it? Because they're in cahoots, they're in control, and they're going to put themselves on trial. And when will that happen? Again, I could keep going on with all. I mean, even the little bald head, ogre-looking chef from the Chew. I can give an example of it. Brett Ratner, the so-called Hollywood filmmaker, producer, who used to be bedding down Serena Williams before she got, an Arab billionaire. As I talk, I could come up with how many unending examples of sexual deviant behavior from the so-called Caucasoid European demon. But being outraged about that, what are we going to do? Absolutely nothing. Now, in cleaning up our
right,
own
because we don't do nothing about our own. Right. So
that's
why
would we?
Exactly. We don't even do anything about our own. So we damn sure ain't gonna do nothing about them. So that's my whole point of the thing. Clean sweep around our own doorstep. And we all know it goes deeper than Kelly. We're talking in individual homes where babies are abused and they're shunned, or you're not telling the truth.
Now, you've heard about Monique. You've heard about Monique. You've heard about Oprah, who either gave up a child or miscarried it. I'm not sure which. We've heard about R. Kelly. himself
Yes.
raped at 8.
Yes.
You've heard
Yes.
about D.L. Hughley, who is publicly acknowledged by having a 27-year-old woman sex him up at 13.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I could go on with
Right.
any
Right.
example.
See, those are the things that I'm talking about, brother. And I don't think we need to mix apples and oranges. That's my whole go ahead on with the fuckery. Separate what the white folks are doing and let's clean up and get serious about the own sickness within our community. Because
now talking
more
about
than likely,
that, now here's where there is a false equivalence. Okay. On the one hand, and again, this is not giving a pass. This is not an excuse.
Right.
This is description of the fact. We have, and this is what we're going to get to a focal point when we go forward, when we talk about our Aboriginal origins and whether or not we're out of Africa and all this good stuff, all right?
Right.
As we come to, at some future point of the facts being laid bare, because we have to do, it's just like any situation with a diagnosis. If you're misdiagnosed, you cannot have a proper treatment, then you certainly can't be cured.
Right.
All right?
Right.
All you're doing is exacerbating the condition, and then you go and blame the patient that's been misdiagnosed for being ill. Okay? That's what's going on every day with the maligning of the black male image. 2, when you don't dress the buck act, the Mandingo factor, which is the most prominently played out with the Django movie, if you remember that infamous scene where Monsieur Candy was showing how the Mandingo fight works to the death, right? And what is the purpose of perpetuating black male brutality, which is in football, basketball, boxing, all sports arenas, where the gladiator effect of white America orgasmically expressing itself by watching black male flesh on display for their amusement, entertainment, and profit. Then, what has the buck done once he does survive this? Again, it's not excuse. I'm not explaining excuse. I'm describing in context that it's factual. What is the reward for the buck who kills the other black male in conflict? Black female flesh. We're talking about the slave plantation, for example, all right? Then you have the what they call a fetishizing of black male, I don't want to use the term of so-called masculinity because all this stuff is perverted. You follow what I'm describing here now? But when you look at, I've asked you this before, you might want to find these books if you can. They're out of print. It's called the Falconhurst series. This is where I got initiated in my slave history, through these novels. These are books that fictionalize the New Orleans plantation. It has a number of books. It is the one of which, the famous one, is Mandingo. Drum, Muskie, the Falconhurst Fancy, all lays out the layers of what I'm describing here of what the Southern plantation mythos, the antebellum South, and how it built all of its existence on the buck. I'm talking about in capital letters, B-U-C-K, not a male deer. The imagery of the black Mandingo. Okay? That is where all of this psychosis, the seed of it is, where black masculinity, where sexual proclivity, where promiscuity, where the pimp factor that's now been personified by people like Iceberg Slim, Bishop Don Juan, what's some of the revs, because they had pimps, like you said yourself. The one that used to sell the prayer cloths. And a number of them were the actual adepts of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Father Divine, Prophet Cherry, Reverend Ike. You feel me? This mythos was created from antebellum Southern edicts of controlled black masculinity for procreation, property ownership, and profit. You understand what I'm saying? That's the fundamental basis of chattel slavery. This is not to dismiss black femininity. This is not to marginalize black women. Women procreate by giving birth to babies. Males, sperm, that prowess. You follow me? And all of this stuff is laid out there in marketing and advertising. You You know the two aspects of sex sells? Because that's the most famous phrase that we have in American capitalism. Who is the sexual being that's used mostly? The white female image, correct? That's become the personification of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
But in the masculine realm, it's black males. You know how? Even in novels and books and media, what is the epitome of the attractive image for all women? Tall, dark, and handsome, right? That's packaged in a certain way to be flowered. But when you start analyzing it, and as I'm laying it out, then who is the dark male? We're the fetishizing of today with white women pursuing black athletes, or Kim Kardashian effect, and those rappers and these entertainers. That gives you, again, this is no excuse for R. Kelly. I'm saying to you where it's personified in a sexual deviant of an individual, it is more endemic of an overall psychosis. You get what I'm saying? I know I'm rambling a little bit here now, but I just have to get this off my chest because I am sick and tired, as you are, expressing the outrage that you have on how we are pimped, marginalized, then punished as the ones who did something that was done to them as a people, not as individuals, male or female. This is not an excuse that I am saying. I am describing the fact of a despicable, degrading psychological condition that has been directed solely and specifically on us as a people. And I will wrap up with this because it is personified in this identity crisis that you and I and the panel have been discussing since Dan Calloway has caused us to start to think. There is a reason we are the only people on the face of the earth that are misidentified, having these different labels. No other person, I don't care where they come from, is not self-aware. And there is a specific purpose to why we're being led to believe we are from someone else and are inferior. You get what I'm saying, myself. I know I'm not telling any of y'all anything that you're not aware of because we're at a different level of consciousness. But when it comes down to the actual impact of what I'm saying, it is the ignorant masses, the average black, so-called black or African-American person that is walking around in bondage, zombie-like, in this matrix of white supremacy. It is the white supremacy that is never under scrutiny. That is the reason why we can see all these examples of male white privilege that is unpunished and flouted. Hell, we just put this son of a bitch on the Supreme Court. We just elected a pervert and deviant who even talked up his own daughter's dress, and this phrase for history is grabbing by the pussy. And I yield.
All right, brother. Thank you, 832. I'm going to say again, and not discrediting anything he said, I'm going to add to what he said because there is a lot of psychological damage within the quote melanated community. There are a lot of people that are not of the same bloodline in the melanated community, which we don't want to own up to and face that. Okay, if you really want to go deep into it. And then finally, I'm going to say and say again, when is the cleanup and accountability going to happen among the same said people? So to me, we can't have it both ways. You can't claim to be of greatness and come for greatness, but you pray and damage your own. You're contradicting yourself. You're suppressed by the white man, all that. Okay, we know all of that. But yet, the devastation that is happening, we're doing it to each other. And that fact I will not dance around. I'm not going to tap dance around it. We already know what the white system of, quote, quote, white supremacy has done. We already know, quote, quote, what they get away with. What about what we do to each other? We still don't want to address that. That's the motherfucking elephant in the room. And I say again, before the white man was on this motherfucker, it was us. And there was warring. Before the white man was on this plane, there was war against the women, then war against each other. These are the things I'm talking about. And until we get real honest with each other, it's always going to be somebody else. We already know the white man. That's the obvious thing to point at. I'm talking about what we do to each other. We'll sit up here and kick and scream about, oh, the white man low down, he dirty, this, and that other. But majority are still supporting the same fucking system. They whined about the dude that did the little football situation with the knee that got kicked out of the NFL. Oh, we gonna boycott. I ain't seen no motherfucker boycotting no NFL. So we can't have it both ways. We can't scream white supremacy, but really make no effort to disassociate ourselves from that system. Make no effort to hold each other accountable for our behavior. It don't take resources to walk out your motherfucking door and pick up trash. It don't take resources to check your own family to know where your children are. It don't take resources to protect your children, to make sure that they're not with known pedophiles. These are simple things that we are supposed to be doing. And we were doing them before. So now if we want to have a conversation, let's have an honest conversation and stop dancing around the fact on how fucking far we have sunk. We can go to our neighborhoods and see it. It's like people don't give a damn. Before you even hit the hood, you see the fucking trash. You smell the piss. Then it doesn't take much to be accountable for your own little space. Those are the simple things that I'm talking about. And I don't give a shit what none of these conscious niggas say. If you cannot regulate and govern self, motherfucker, don't come to me about building no nation. It starts with self. And you will never rule. You will never have a nation. You will never have anything if you can't govern and be responsible and hold self accountable. So I'm done with the topic. Sorry, I know I was going in, but all this motherfucking excuse making, I'm done with it. Hold on a second, family. Okay, brother Kali is running late. Okay. All right, so unless somebody else has something to put on it, we're going to move along. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean. I can pull up the next thing. Go ahead.
The thing is, we feed it. All they're doing is putting out a program in the system, and we eat it up. If you want this beef to die, just quit giving it your attention. No matter what way they wrap it up, they always pull out the race thing when more important things are happening.
Yep.
And we fall for it. I mean, I ain't been paying that whole shooting thing much attention as far as who did it.
No, neither have I.
It's not covered the way that it is. Lets you know it's a distraction because somebody getting killed all day, every day.
And they don't give a damn.
And also what we're failing to protect is mama. We ain't protected mama.
I agree.
So how we expect anything to go right?
I agree.
We can't be getting caught up in their distractions for us to keep giving them energy when this energy is here for us to do what we're supposed to do.
Exactly.
We're supposed to be getting caught up in their bullshit. Let them do what they gonna do while you getting yourself together.
Exactly.
Right now, they feuding with each other. They got some beefs that they taking out on each other. Whether people think it's just a distraction or not. No, they know that it's over. So they like, fuck it. Look, you dirty bastard. I've been owing you since way back when, motherfucker.
That makes sense.
You cut me out some shit. I
Right.
told you I was going to get your bitch ass. I got you. And then also, I know they didn't think that shit with Kennedy was going to slide. Come on, it's all type of payback that's going on.
Yeah,
They've been fighting amongst each other. They've been killing each other for power. Ain't nothing new about this. But it's all over with. So they telling on each other. You know, they trying to get rid of some of their karma. So they
now
trying
that
to
I
clean
agree
some
with
of this shit up. They trying to cut a new deal. You know, they know what's about to happen. They know who's sitting up there watching what the fuck going on. So they like, hold up, don't do that yet. Look, we doing something. Look, we just killed this motherfucker. We just killed this motherfucker. But
exactly.
I ain't satisfied with that. Them bitches was about to die anyway.
Right.
Get me some fresh motherfucking meat up there. And I ain't talking about Hillary's sick ass either. She about to be dead in a couple minutes anyway. So.
Right.
And Bill too.
Agreement.
If they ain't already dead. But,
right. Because you know what's going to happen when their cleanup is done, because it's, you know, as Brother Sean said, they're already turning on each other behind the scenes. Okay, that's a struggle within their little world and in their secret societies. So once all of that's out of the way, which is falling, okay, and that the whole government shutdown thing, it ain't about that goddamn wall. Sure, it's deeper stuff than that. Should just give you a clue that it's a lot of bigger things going on with them. So once all of that's out the way, where do you stand as an individual? That's the point I've been screaming and why I've been so hard on quote, us. Because at the end of the day, you have to stand accountable for what you are doing. How connected are you with nature? How connected are you to keep your own immediate family as best you can? Because I enter and overstand folks going to do what the hell they want to do, even in your family. But as best you can, and you're not aiding in the bullshit, where do you stand in that? So we're trying to, you know, put you all up on game that it just don't go for the white folk It goes for us too. And we keep saying it's not going to be that, okay, white people are out of the way. The keys to the kingdom are turned over to the melanated people. And folks think that the same type of system. No, darling. It's all being wiped away. And if you're not rocking and in tune and in harmony, you're gone. Simple as that. So at the end of the day, where do you stand? Where do you stand personally? So that's why I don't give no fucks about none of that. Now, the only thing I say, and I say again, I'm going to defend Mama Earth. I'm going to defend children. And I'm going to defend women when they're right. I'm going to always do that. Now, anybody going up against that, you got a problem with me. The rest of that bullshit, I'm not interested in. And we as a people, if we can't take care of our home, you can't take care of your home. You can't take care of the future generation. Something wrong with that. And I don't want no parts of nobody like that. You need to fucking go. I don't give a fuck what your race is. None of that. You out of here. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead on, sis. And Brother Kali is going to join us in a second, but I think I see him in the queue. Go ahead, sis, if you had something to put on it.
I'm good.
Okay.
I have nothing to say. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right, family. So Brother Kali is going to join us. I'm really excited. Brother Kali has put out some very, very good work. His YouTube channel is called Kali Maat AmunRa. We have talked about his work over the past month on the show. He does excellent work where he literally takes pictures of the sky. And, oh, my goodness, he has really, really caught some amazing things in the sky on film as well as still pictures. And him and his partner, Riz, they do an excellent job. And what I like about it is just not, showing the pictures saying, okay, see this space here, see this shape here, where a lot of the other YouTube alien channels does that. He puts it in the content of what that means on what is going down right now. And I do like that because it's what we talk about every week, that we are in the last end right now. Okay, so I'm very, very happy that he's able to join us on the show tonight. So let me bring on Brother Kali, and I think that's you, brother. I'm about to unmute you, so. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Peace, love, and light, Queen God, sister. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing swell. This is an exciting time. This is a beautiful moment for us to be in. It's a beautiful moment.
Indeed. So I have my co-host with me. I have Brother Sean with me. He was the one that reached out to you via Facebook. And then I also have Sister Sandra with me as well.
Peace and love, brother.
Peace, Queen Sister. Peace, my brother Sean. Peace, absolutely.
Yeah, brother. So, all right. We finna get into it. So I kind of wanted to have this kind of open style because you'll be dropping stuff 2-3 times a day sometimes. So we're just going to leave this open because things have gotten so off the chain with what's going on in the sky. Every week, we spend at least 15 minutes talking about it. And particularly, it appears that Kali and Sis Sandra, she's in Kali, always has the drama jumping off in the sky. And I don't know if you saw Rap the News a couple hours ago. I want to say 5 hours ago. had posted once again things jumping off in Cali in the sky. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it's certain regions where the activity in the sky is higher with far as the extraterrestrials, and I'm putting that in quote, in the sky, or do you think it's just all across the board?
Well, it is happening all across the board on this globe, but the places that see the most activity is more so the coastlines, and also because a lot of military bases are near the coastlines, believe it or not. Because in order for you to run a lot of these nuclear facilities that we don't understand that has been placed inside Earth crust. I mean, if you search, if you pull up on a computer, Google Earth, you just pull up nuclear facilities, and you'll see just in the United States alone, there are hundreds of them. So as they changing Earth back over, because Earth is important. Earth is a very important place. As they terraform Earth back over, they have to deplace. You know, when someone has control of something for so long, they would rather blow it up than to relinquish power. Because people believe that it's like, for instance, Bill Gates has money, but the Clintons have power. They will make you, you know what I mean? People that don't report that the Clintons then got rid of. Bill Gates can say whatever he wants, but when it's time to get missing, the Clintons can't have you missing. And that's the thing. This entity on this planet has power and control, and the number one control is sucking our souls. That's the number one thing, and we don't believe that. As people, we think it's about money. We think it's about politics. We don't understand that we are aging fast inside of our vessels because of we constantly fear, constantly worrying, and we should not be, as a people on this planet, worried about anything.
Wow, well said. Brother Sean or Sis, did you have any thing you wanted to add or follow up before I put my next two cents in?
I want to say in California, it's popping.
Yes.
It is really popping. Angels. Yes. I have rainbows that follow me. I saw a rainbow yesterday I took pictures of, and it looked like it had other stuff around it. And it's just like, oh, my goodness. It was a double rainbow. I said, where's a double rainbow? I've never seen that one. So things are just changing. The sun was kind of like setting in the east instead of in the west. It was in the south. It's really changing directions, everything. And it's quoted that's going to be like that. So, I love it. I love it. I have no fear. I have no reason to run and no reason to be afraid because I understand what the time is. And the time is it's over for them. It's over for anybody who's frequency.
Absolutely. They know this. This is why the government and I urge my people to really pay attention to this. Like, self-discipline is what's gonna get you through this. I tell people, if you go back and you look when Barack Obama was in office, the UN, the United States, and the UN and Russia was on United States soil training. They were supposed to pull martial law during Obama's presidency.
Sure was.
You understand? Russia and the UNC, it's hard to use your own American soldiers to come in the United States and police American people because those are family members.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why it's so easy. If you look at American soldiers, it's so easy to go into these other countries and do whatever because in their eyes, which is foolish thinking, that because they don't speak the same tongue as them, that they're not them. So that's foolish thinking right there. But however, when Snowden hacked Hillary Clinton emails and went to Russia, Putin backed out of pulling martial law in the United States. So the second thing now is to create this refugees that everyone is flooding into the United States. That's a false flag on everything because they created this in Syria. The United States created all of this in the first place. And now with the government being on shutdown, I think about my people. It's going to affect over 39 million Americans alone with them shedding this welfare off. And after welfare, they're going to shed Social Security off. So I say between February 1st, I say by March the 1st, it's going to be chaotic in the United States of America. And this is not something that I'm wishing, but this is what this entity wants.
Right. But the interesting part about it is when you just gave the timeline of February and what he's saying, because the food stamps is funded for this month, but next month it's not funded. Okay. So that's why he's saying February and March. Now, what happens in March that is huge? This is why, you know, you have to kind of put the emotions aside and get in tune and put your spiritual hat on, because the real new year begins the spring equinox, which is in March, right? And isn't another blood moon scheduled to come up in March? I could be off. Okay.
No, you're right.
February.
Okay. All three of these blood supermoons are connected directly to us. You have January, February, and March. And the one that's in March is a day before or 2 days before the spring equinox.
Right.
2 days before.
Right.
And that ends our 400 slave. If you go on the Hebrew calendar, March is the beginning, ends the 400 years of our enslavement.
Right.
Yay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, we as melanated people really, really need to, get our shit together. I'm talking extremely, extremely fast, because it's right up on us. Now, back to the sky phenomenon.
Yes.
I'm not sure if, and I'm sure you know this, but there is a lot of information coming out. And I think they're purposely putting it out, but not too many people are paying attention to it. We've been talking about it for quite a bit. And when I first started talking about it, I didn't get it from no YouTube. It was given to me divinely about the plasma activity that's happening on the planet. Brother, what are your thoughts on that? Because now videos are coming out saying, and not too many of them, but those colors in the sky and the pulsating of the sky is directly related to the plasma activity.
Yes, that is what's happening is the energy that we are currently under, that energy that powers the grid, that keeps our cars running, the airplanes in the sky. That energy right there is failing. That's not even, that energy doesn't work. It's not universal energy. It's if you look, I was looking at a video and a guy broke this down. All of our electronics, everything that we use, it has the electron energy going backwards. Protons and neutrons are heading in one direction, and electrons are heading in the opposite direction. So all these powers all these electronics that we have, whether it's the TV, the car, all the electrons in there are going backwards, which is not working with the planet. It's not coincide with the universe or this planet. Exactly, it's not in the right tune. So when this new frequency comes in, which people are already, they're getting signs of it because your cell phones are acting up, computers are acting up. All your electronic devices are acting up. Are they acting up? Dramatically in certain areas, yes. In some other areas, no. But they are acting up because I say this over and over. Our star family is not about creating death. They want to do this switch as easily as possible. They constantly give you a choice. But again, if you are ignoring the signs, when what they have put in plenty of movies, have you seen airplanes come right out of the sky whenever things start to switch over? And that's just what's going to happen. The airplanes now are already coming out of the sky. The smaller planes are already in California. It was two guys that had to land an airplane on the expressway, on a runway.
Oh yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, they're already coming out of the sky.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I made the statement for the last couple of weeks about the whole 5G, and I was explaining to the family that, they were putting out there about 5G. They're putting it out there to kill us, and I was saying, no, it's not that. Although their particular waves aren't as helpful as they're supposed to be for us, but they're putting out 5G to try to adjust to the new energy coming into Mother Earth. They trying to get on the new signal. Now, there is information, and I think it's the National Emergency Center document where they put it out in December, if I'm not mistaken, where they are saying for the American public to prepare to be without, quote, quote, power and electricity for 6 months.
Yes.
For 6 months. So they know that plasma, that blinking lights in the sky that they're talking about with those purple colors, the pink colors, the blue colors, they know that is that new energy coming into play. They know that it's connected to our existing sun. And Brother Sean and I just ran up on a video where somebody broke down that particular plasma energy is also attached directly to our sun, and it is preparing to reverse itself.
Right.
So in other words, the pole shift. Of course, they didn't say pole shift because they weren't spiritual in this video at all. So the pole shift. Okay, so I'll pause in case you all had something to put on there.
No, I wanted to finish, speaking of it. You just finished speaking on that regarding the plasma and the pole shift. Anyone want to say anything before I speak on it?
Well, you can see the sun going down in the wrong place every day now. It's not going down in the east, mid-east, west, excuse me. It's going down southwest. And all the colors are in the east.
That's interesting.
The reds and the purples and the oranges and the blues and the purples and all that kind of stuff is in the east. It's not in the west. I said, well, where's the sun over there and all the light is over in the east?
So those other energy centers too. But yes, very good point. And see, you can see all of that in Cali where I'm at. The sun is constantly blocked out. So I don't get to see all that magnificent show.
It's interesting.
I want to give you my take on this 4G and the 5G now. Now the 5G, I believe the 5G, all these frequencies to keep the planet and keep us at a low vibrational frequency.
Yeah.
But we have to understand something, that we are a ball of energy that inhabit suits. These are suits that we walk around in. We are not our bodies. That's the number one thing we have to understand, that we are a ball of energy that inhabit suits. The black woman on every planet creates the suit for us to inhabit on each planet, because she is the head. There's no difference in the ruling energy on every planet is feminine energy. We don't worship the black woman, just like the nature don't worship the mother bee or the head female, but they pay homage to her. They understand that she is the one that's creating the suit for us to inhabit so that we can have an earthly experience. Now, with that being said, all other races, those suits, they are suits that they are walking around in. So when you see Justin Bieber, or you see someone say that the queen ship-shaped, or their eyes looked as funny, or their skin looked as funny, it looked as scaly skin, it's because that frequency is allowing them to hold their shape in this dimension. Now, what's happening is, because it's the age of Aquarius, and this is something that spooks a lot of black people out because they don't want to believe this. But however, what's happening is every dimension is coming together. You are going to see things on this planet that you never thought that existed, and they only existed in movies. You got to understand, they got these movies from somewhere. Lord of the Rings, all these sci-fi movies. Where did they come up with this idea when the European, the Asian man, and the Arab man can only access 5 to 7% of his brain? He can barely understand rap. So how can he understand the stars, the moon, the sun? You can only understand that if someone is helping you, someone is teaching you something.
Right.
That's the only way. So
Agreed.
they're suits that. But listen, Putin said at a conference, this is when he kicked George Soros out. This was maybe the beginning of last year or the year before last. He kicked George Soros out. George Soros is one of the Rothschild's cousins. These people don't do nothing but walk around in suits. When he kicked him out of Russia, when Eric Snowden went over there, when he kicked George Soros out of Russia, he was at a press conference, and Putin got so mad. Putin said 95% of the people you see on TV isn't even real. And one of Putin's right-hand advisors jumped up and grabbed him and snatched him away from the microphone because he's telling the truth. You are looking at clones on TV. People that you think are men are really women, and people that you think are women are really men.
Yes, gender swapping and all.
Yes, Queen, absolutely. Absolutely. You have no idea how deep this go on this planet.
Absolutely. It's interesting because, Brother Sean, did you not send me a snapshot? And I don't know if you took that picture off your TV or you got it from somewhere, and you kind of honed in to, I don't know who that man was standing one person over from Pence. But did you want to talk about that?
I mean, that was off a video on YouTube, and I just took a screenshot of it.
Okay.
I was just listening to what they had to say about the shutdown. And Pence and them come out. You know, I know Pence ain't no little dude.
No.
This motherfucker was towering over them, and his head was just so huge it made them look like children.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, literally. And when he sent it to me, I'm like, that is a big dude. I'm like, okay, well, let me Google and see how tall is Pence. So Pence is 5'10". So I went back to the picture. I'm like, so if Pence is 5'10", the other dude next to him had to be 6'1", 6'2". So that other dude had to be 7 feet easily, a 7-footer. And as Brother Sean said, with that big ass head, I'm like, they put this shit right in our face.
Absolutely. You see, Trump and Pence has been together lately, and look at the color ties that they have on. Look at the color ties that Trump and Pence are wearing. One is wearing red, and the other one is wearing blue. The red and blue Kachina. They know. They know. They know. They know, Queen. I can say they know that their time is at an end, and at this time, Trump and Putin is just they just want to live. They want to live underground and try to live their time out, because the rest of the world that's not in Hollywood, the rest of the world is going to be so devastating. It's going to be so devastating to the rest of the world to know who we truly are, and to know how they actually was living off of our backs. I mean, and it's going to be devastating to us, because a lot of our memory is going to come back. A lot of our memories are going to come back.
Right.
This is only the beginning. Right. This is only the beginning. Us that's waking up right now, we're not just waking up just to wake up. This is happening because of a new frequency that's coming to this earth, and it has to come to you gradually, slow. It's just like a kid. If you take a kid that, let's say you take a kid that was starving, that barely ate, and then you can't just put a plate of food in front of him, because he'll hurt himself, he'll kill himself. So you have to gradually feed the information to us. But however, what we think is gradually happening is actually happening on a very fast scale, fast scale.
Yes, absolutely, brother. It's interesting because I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
Remember that photo I sent you of the purple sky here in Cleveland?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's talk about it. And you should send that to Brother Kali. Baby.
Please do.
Okay,
Go on and talk about it, Brother Sean. Matter of fact, I saved that photo because it's really beautiful. But go on, Brother Sean. Go on and talk about that.
They claim that it's from the greenhouse that's over there. I'm thinking to myself, there's greenhouses all around the world, but
Talk to me, brother.
ain't no purple sky. So what kind of lights is it? What kind of lights is it that they're using that's actually interrupting their little program and revealing the real sky?
Exactly.
And then I come across that video on the plasma.
Yes.
If they're using plasma lights over there, then they're revealing a whole lot more than what they think. But most people here in Cleveland so densely and deeply sleep, they're going to buy whatever told to them. But then I get to seeing that people are using footage from Cleveland on videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And y'all by the water, too. So, but you know
like
what?
Here,
yeah.
we got NASA here. Remember the Wright brothers right here, Dayton.
Oh, that's right.
There's a lot of history here in Cleveland.
Yes.
And they have a lot of conventions and stuff come here. We got the Serpent Mounds here in Ohio.
Yes.
There's all types of pyramids and stuff here, and they say they found the remains of giants along the Ohio River.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. And you know what's crazy about all of this, and Brother Sean, you'll know where I'm going with this, is that now this whole quote truth or community are now starting to release that the world has been destroyed several times, but it has been destroyed earlier than what we thought. And they're also saying that it's going to be destroyed again. So in other words, now they're starting to release that destruction is coming down the pipe, and it's coming down the pipe very, very soon. And a lot of those channels, I do have to say, they are Caucasian channels, and it's a lot of doom and gloom there. I do have to say, and some of them are going the really bad route of even breaking off to a separate website and trying to charge people on how to survive. Okay, but with all of that said, I don't find it no accident that now they're talking about, oh yeah, we're in the last times, destruction is about to happen. Now they're talking about the plasma energy. None of that's an accident, although I think it's a little too late. But they know what's shaken down. Don't think that they don't know. They know exactly what's shaken down, and I shared this with Brother Kali last Thursday on the Twilight Zone, because y'all know the Twilight Zone is my shit. Episode 3, Season 10. I bullshit you not, y'all. I should have wrote down the episode. I'm sorry, the name of the episode. My bad. But it was Season 3, Episode 10. It aired in 1961. That episode was about this woman burning up in heat. The sun was burning everybody up. She was scorched. Everybody was so burning up. They was walking around in their drawers. And back then, women had the slips. So she had on her slip, just burning up. And it started out in the episode with her painting this big-ass sun. And it was so hot that the paint on the canvas melted. Now, here's what's going to fuck y'all up. End of it, they showed the sun in the sky, And that's what made me 1961. They were talking about this. And at the end of the program, they came in and the doctor looked at her, and it just so happened this is what the lady was dreaming about. But the doctor said him and his family were about to leave. And he said, because we have not seen the sunlight up north for so many days and it's so cold, so we're heading down south. Okay.
Hold up.
So
I don't mean to cut you off. He said what? He said it was he didn't see the sun where?
They up north. They were up north. I know. This is fucking me all the way up. This some little Twilight Zone. I'm not making this shit up. Go on and look at it. It's season 3, episode 10, and it was snowing outside. And he was saying to the lady, the other lady in the room, the sun still ain't shining. It's so cold up here. Are you going to stay up here? And the lady was just standing there looking dumb, shrugging her shoulders. He said, well, I'm getting my family out of here, and we're going south. So they are describing to you catastrophe that is going to happen on the planet as she's cleaning up, as Mama is cleaning up, where you're going to have the extreme cold in the north. And if you don't believe what I'm talking about, Google and go check out the extreme temperatures that are happening in Asia and over in Europe.
Thank you.
Come
they ain't
on, talking
sister.
about it, but it's happening. I know 2 people personally that are over in Asia now, but one just came back. 2 people that went over there and froze their asses off. They were shocked how cold it was. They not talking about this. So you got part of the country or part of the planet that's freezing to death, and then the other part is going to be extreme heat as Mother does cleanup. They knew that this cycle was coming. They knew. This was in 1961 they put this episode out.
Thank you so much, Queen. I say it in my videos so many times. The North is going back on the ice. The North is going back on the ice. Europe is made up. They drew a line down Western Asia or East Asia. They drew a line down that and then created Europe. Europe is made up. It's going to be the South Saudi Arabia. All of that's going back underwater. It's water coming from the underneath Saudi Arabia. It's water coming underneath the sand, out of the ground.
Yes.
that's the new ocean.
That in Mecca, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not a problem.
Today in Mecca, they had a swarm of locusts.
Listen, I'm looking right.
I'm making this up.
Listen, as you say it, Queen Sister, before I called you and I was finishing up here at my job, I'm sitting here reading the report. Right here, huge swarm of locusts descend on Mecca, leaving worshippers covered in insects and cleaners battling to control the bugs at Islam's holiest site. This is their holiest site. Talk about their black top.
Exactly.
The holiest site.
Ain't that black motherfucking cube that they walk around that's tied to goddamn Saturn? What did we tell you about Saturn last week? That the fucking rings are being disintegrated. Are y'all getting the connections?
Yes. They are being disintegrated up in Saturn. There's a whole Earth is going to get. Queen, I am so glad that I came on this show to talk to you today. I am so glad.
Me too.
I am so glad. I'm so glad. Energy is right here. Yeah, that's true. Saturn is good. Saturn, all of this. It's not just this planet that's in our solar system that's been under control.
I would agree.
It's not just this planet. But when they come on these planets, they can't get off of them. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So they want to come on and take, and they want to leave. No, they can't. They can't do that. And that's the whole key to the whole thing. And that's why I want my people to understand is that this was nothing but a test for us. We were supposed to help the artificial race. If you look at our God-loving, we have true loving hearts. We have true loving hearts here. And if you look at our hearts, we're not going to. You see someone, we're going to help them. That's what we know. That's what we do. And when we seen these races of people in the state and the conditions that they were in, we helped them. We taught them everything that they know. We even taught their God who created them everything you know. Because when he came down here over 200,000 years ago, black people understood that there were other life forms. We communicated with them. We knew that. So there was nothing new to us underneath the sun. Nothing new to us. This is why it's so hard now to pull black people and pull them to the side and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. They be like, what, man? I don't believe none of that. I don't believe, because they have been ripped away. But truly, the whole planet feels completely different. The planet feels completely different. If you're in tune with the planet, black people, you know the planet feels different to you. But all other races, the planet feels completely 100% different to them. It's not a country outside of America. It's not a country outside of America that is sleeping comfortable today. Not one of them. Not one of them.
I agree.
Not one of them.
Agree. It was this. Y'all remember when I think it was over in Cali again, sis. Remember when that white thing was in the sky?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, this particular channel, and I'm going to get it for you all. Please forgive me. I should have had it ready for you tonight. They speculated, and they're not the first, because other folks, because the bullshit-ass excuse they came out with, didn't they say something about some SpaceX was launched? It just didn't sound right out the gate what they were saying. But this particular channel, and they're not the first I heard say it, but it makes sense. Their explanation was a lot better. But they said what they were trying to do is pierce through the dome, the crystallized dome, to get out. And it's not going to happen. And specifically, this channel said that they're picking the time frames around astrological events. So they're picking them around the equinoxes, and one of the times they picked it around close to Christmas, I think it was. So they're trying to pierce through the dome, thinking that a portal is opening up, or it'll be easier for them to get out. And what that looked like to me in the sky was their version of plasma, which still is not powerful enough to pierce through. And even if they get through, they going to drown. But okay, if you want to get through and drown, that's on you. But that is what they were trying to do with that. So that, to me, proves that they're trying to get out, because they know that the day of reckoning is right around the corner. Matter of fact, they don't know what minute it's going to happen. That's to the point that we're at now. They don't even know what second it's going to happen.
Well, you know, I think that's the reason why the White House is shut down. Okay, all these people have said they're out of money. We have this, you know, this wall issue. They're running. They are running. They're even going to jail or pretending to go to jail, taking charges against them for espionage and, you know, vote tampering and everything. Because I told everybody, when this stuff starts going down, they're going to start running. They're going to jump ship in Washington, and you watch it.
And the thing of it is, though, sis, they don't have nowhere to run to. I know
they don't.
None whatsoever. Nowhere to run to. All this is a smoke screen for us to keep us thinking that, to keep our people in a state of disbelief. Exactly, normal. That's just all it is. It has nothing. This is why I believe martial law is for us, so that way they can keep, so we don't see what's happening in the sky, so we don't get that frequency from that new sun. All of this is put into place for us. All of this is put into place for us. But they can't stop it, and they're not going to be able to stop it.
I totally agree. And just so I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
It's fear associated with this government shutdown. instead of our people getting back in touch with mother.
There you go. Very good
and
point.
embracing the shutdown. How you gonna say you want to get rid of the system, but you worried about a shutdown?
Thank you, brother.
Baby, I'm so
Talk to me,
much
brother.
happy that
There we
bitch
go.
shut down. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I fucking love it.
I know that's right. Yes.
Is what gotta go. The system
Exactly.
is what is against mother. And as long as our people keep the system alive, you're going to be judged for that because you hurt mama.
That's
and there's
right.
no reason for you to be ignorant to that fact now. Period.
Exactly.
Thank you, brother.
No excuses. Like you were saying earlier, sis, accountability.
Exactly.
Accountability.
And what's the newest distraction is another type of reset. That's why they talking this Tartarian. At first, they were trying to push the global reset and money instead of the other, trying to cut all type of deals for us to let them stay in power and not bring the wrath down on them.
Yes.
Ain't nobody buy that shit. Ain't nobody buy to no new contracts. All that shit is up. It's over with.
Yes.
Ain't gonna be no more new contracts. The whole system got to go. All that contract bullshit, all that was under the system.
That's right. Ain't no more manipulating us. Those days is over.
No manipulation. And he's absolutely right, because with that Tartarian stuff and mud floods, the deeper and deeper Brother Sean and I get into it, we've, personally saw through some bullshit with people making it something that it's not. And when they start throwing that reset word around, I'm like, oh, I got you bitches. We on this too. It ain't gonna fucking happen. We not reset to no motherfucking civilization that you claim was great. We don't. All of that shit is getting it's all
Absolutely.
getting up. And I don't give a damn. I am so strong in my conviction on what I feel about being in tune. If that plasma gotta burn my yellow ass up, then so the fuck be it. It is what it
I know that's right, sister. Yes, I know that's right.
There's no negotiation. No, we gonna stand up this old system. All of it is done. And either you're in tune, you're going to live in harmony, what's best for mother, or you can get the fuck on. Point blank, period.
Brother, I'm so glad that brother said that, and that makes a strong point. If you really conscious and you really in your higher self, then you shouldn't even be concerned with this shutdown. And I'm glad you said that, brother. Like that was very powerful right there, because it should be an illusion to you. It shouldn't even bother you. It was an illusion from the beginning. It doesn't work harmonized with you. These are people that want to hold on to the system have trouble getting along with their brothers and sisters. Those are the ones I hate when I hear people like, it's hard for me to get along with people. It's something wrong with you. You understand? It's something wrong with you. Right. And that's the problem. You understand? You can't turn to your brother and sister and look at them with light and be willing to help them without looking for something in return other than unprecedented love, then there is something wrong with you. There's something completely wrong with you. Those are the people that want to continue to hold on to this system, that can't, have trouble getting along with people, having trouble looking at your brother and sister in light, in love, have trouble looking at nature and love. You need someone to be over top of you and police you and tell you this is what you need to do. No, you don't. No. Then you need that to happen to you, then you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here.
Exactly.
I don't need nobody to stand over top of me and police me to tell me how to treat and look at my brother. That's crazy. That's stupid. You understand? When I know that I am him and he is me, I tell my brother, 10 brothers can get together, and I mean this. I know brothers that do that work on houses and build houses. 10 brothers, they act like it's so hard. 10 brothers can actually get together and work on each one of these brothers' houses one day. Come on, brother, we're going to work on your house today. Tomorrow we're going to work on this brother's house. Tomorrow we're going to work on this brother's house. If you took the time out and y'all worked together, and instead of wanting it to the very next day, if y'all actually work together, all 10 of you brothers can have 10 houses and almost a half of a year. The house that you want, and all of y'all work together and build that house up, and y'all can maintain it yourselves. But y'all don't want to build. People don't want to he can't see unity like that. We don't know how shit can work if we just come together and truly build together with love.
Exactly, and you know that's where we're going back to. And you know, I was speaking with someone recently, and they were like, "Well, it's going to be hard for people to adjust to go back to, you know, living without electricity." I'm like, no. You're not getting it. We already have those things.
Right.
This is an electric universe. We can pull right out of the air and right out of the ground. We already have brilliant brothers that can build a little box right now and put it right on the side of your crib, and you can be right off the grid chilling.
Absolutely.
Pulling energy naturally from mother.
I want to make an observation. You had a video on because 90% of the junk DNA is going to be reinactivated, and that young lady was on there speaking about from 20 to 2021 that the darker race will be activated, and they will be the DNA will be changed, and whatever we dream, whatever we want will be instant. Remember that one?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. Absolutely. This is the reason why they're doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right. They spray the sky continuously.
Yeah, they have to, because we're already coming online. A lot of us already know, you know, you just like, you know, I went someplace and I said, you know, I need to get some grapefruits. So I went to the car place to get my car fixed, and then the man had a big old box of grapefruits. He said, "Do you want some grapefruits?" And I was just...
That's right, sister. I see you. That's right.
It's been happened many times already. And I tell my son, look what I just did. It's wonderful.
Exactly.
But you have to be
we have to create the world we want.
There we go.
Exactly.
Starts in our mind and our heart.
Exactly. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to listen to you. I wanted to hear. I like the fact that when she was talking about how she speaks it into existence, because I can tell you.
You have to dream your life. And if you don't dream your life, you don't have a life. You just live in this box that they put us in. But you have to take your own mind out of this matrix that they set you into, because you never get anything if you continue to play their game. You never get it. And I knew that when I was a kid. Everybody used to say, "You're always dreaming." I said, "That's the only way you're going to get something." We're creators.
I know that's right.
Exactly.
I know that's right.
We're creators. That's what we're here for. We were supposed to police this planet, but they took over. We were supposed to tell them, you know, we're in control, but they decided that to paint these pictures of us being inferior to them. And a lot of people fell for that okie doke.
That's right.
And so now you got to bring your frequency up, or you're going to stay under their feet. And that's not where it was supposed to be.
No. And it's interesting because what the History Channel has been rerunning, and I heard you, Brother Kali, speaking on this Stitching, Zachariah Stitching. A lot of folks, I only hear melanated folks for the most part on the metaphysics side that was really speaking of Stitching's work. You hear some white folks talking about it, not enough. But peep this. History Channel, y'all, is I don't know if they're rerunning the series, but they are running a series discussing Zachariah Stitching's work. And I looked at that TV. I said, "You got to be bullshitting me." They're actually gonna put Stitch's work on TV, and they're literally talking about how the ancient wars happened, this, that, and the third.
Wow.
To peak game through this series, once again, they're talking up Mars. They're talking up how, yeah, you know, Mars had this, it was inhabitable, and, you know, this is a place where we can go back to, blah, 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 blah. So I'm saying all this to say again, because we talked about this several times on this show, that they're prepping the populace to, if they can, go over to Mars.
Yeah, they're trying to leave.
As an escape plan, because they're not going to be able to handle the frequency over here. Now, Brother Sean always say they ain't gonna make it over there. He said they not gonna make it.
Nah, they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere.
He always say they ain't gonna make it, sis. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
It's not about staying down at their frequency and staying trapped in their system. All that's going to be gone. So
yes.
It's either you elevate your frequency or you gone. This
or
is
you gone.
Right.
Yep.
It ain't no more play. It ain't no
Nope.
more reincarnating in their system. This is endgame.
Yeah, it really is.
These wars is for our very soul.
Yes.
Keep thinking that it's about lesser things. This is the end game. It's time to get this shit in. That's why you think those big motherships and everything uncloaking. It's time.
Yes. Absolutely. Come on, brother. Yes, absolutely.
And they know this. And like you were saying, they don't relinquish nothing. They'd rather blow it up. They trying to take as many motherfuckers with them as they can. And if you're dumb enough to go with them, they gonna
come on. Yes, come on, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. That's why I keep bringing up the Mars thing, because they're going to be trying to tempt people to, quote, quote, go to Mars, quote, quote, take this deal, take that deal. And it's just to sign back up with them for some fresh new fuckery. So,
if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do for mama, she ain't going to protect you anyway.
No,
come on, brother. I can give you so many stories.
Mama didn't expect her brothers and sisters to look out for you.
Come on. Come on, brother. Come on. Ain't that the truth? I said that so many times.
Exactly.
Things that happen to you, to happen to people, are meant to happen to them. I know for a fact that there was a guardian around me the whole time, and I didn't realize this until later on in my life. I know for a fact. But because I still was, no matter the conditions that I grew up in or whatever the case may be, I still was able to recognize love. See, some people, even they use their condition, they use their situation, they use the society, and they can't recognize love. You can treat somebody so good, and they be like, man, and they still could not recognize love at all. They think you're trying to do something for them. But I was able to recognize love, and that's how a lot of our relationships today end. You see someone, I'm not, I don't want to paint a broad brush, but I just want to say from what I see, you understand, I've seen relationships where women cater to men and men like, you're not my mom, you're not this, that, and the third, and snap out. But she's not your mother, but she's a nurturer. You understand? So she fixed you a path or something. You should be happy with that. Those are the things that I say that we are not used to anymore, and we need to, and to the point where as though the sister has to be hard, because Steve Harvey say think like a man. The black man today has so much estrogen in him, he forgot his rightful place towards his queen. So it's just it's a constant cycle now that is coming to an end. And I'm so happy to hear that the older generation as well as the younger generation is actually coming together. It's not like this is a frequency that is just choosing one portion of the generation. It's not.
Right.
Because this frequency right here, it has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with your heart. Nothing to do with age. Yep. Everything it has to do with your heart. Because I spoke to a woman that was 60 years old, and she said, I knew this day was coming. She said, I don't believe in the Bible no more. And I spoke to someone that was 20 years old, and they look at me like I got 4 heads on my shoulders. So it's not about your age. It's all about the heart at this time.
Absolutely. 1,000% agree. I did have a question for you, brother, because the pictures that, you and Brother Rizvi bringing the light and breaking stuff down, there's different beings and species. Do you feel that they're from different solar systems, galaxies, dimensions? Because it's so varied. You know what I'm saying? I've seen bubblehead people in the picture. I've seen animals. I've seen insectoids. I've seen regular sisters in the sky. That really freaked me out to see the regular sisters in the sky. So what's your take on the different actual beings that are being seen in the sky?
I believe that Earth is very vast, but I also believe that we're inner dimensions too. Like there are people, there are entities that can manipulate energy, like we could at one point in time, that can manipulate energy and that can travel inner dimension. Like I say to people sometimes, it happens even more now. Especially to me, you could be sitting somewhere, you could be writing something down, and you'll see something move out of the corner of your eye, or you'll see something, you'll turn around, or you'll feel something, and you'll turn around and look, and you'll be like, it's in the shadow or something. You'll be like, did that something just move, or something was over there?
Right.
That's because these dimensions are coming together, and that's what's happening is that we're actually, in our houses are squares. Everything that we sit in is a square, which holds negative energy. See, if you look at the pyramids, if you look at huts, right? If you look at huts, if you look at how the Indians, well, they really was us. You see, that everything was built like a pyramid. So the energy can circulate from the ground all the way straight up to the universe. But we sit in squares, and this is sometimes this is no lie. Sometimes you can be having a good day outside, and then when you come inside your home, the next thing you know, you just got a feeling. You understand your family. Not saying that you spiritually, but you just got this feeling because you have so many different energies living inside of your home, and then you have these spiritual entities that are trying to attach themselves to you as well. They're called whispers. You understand? This is why brothers that are not at a high vibrational frequency, when they have problems with each other, then they react. It's be something whispered in his ear. He doesn't understand that. Kill him. Go do this. Go do this. Go. And then when they do it, and then they get behind bars, they be like, "Why did I do that? How did I do that?" Like you got so much time to actually sit down and think.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that they want you to do is think. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought up the shape of the homes, because back to that square, and we just talked about that Mecca with them walking around that damn square. What that square represents, it's a container. It's to trap the energy. It's not in harmony. Energy moves. Energy flows. Okay.
Yes.
And it made me think about, if we really think back, we can see the decline of the frequency on Mother Earth and the decline of our consciousness. Because if you think about when we were ethers, meaning we were partly in a fleshly suit and partly not. We didn't live in any type of containment. Okay, we just lived among the ethers, the skies, or when we wanted to be on the fleshly side, the matter side, we would be down in the grass or in the trees, some ancient giant trees. And then the more and more our consciousness started to fall, and that was by choice, more and more our consciousness started to fall, then we started needing these physical things because we started falling into matter, into physical matter. Okay? And
Right.
then that's why, like when Brother Kali was saying, we once had civilizations where we built structures in a pyramid shape to harvest the natural energy from mother, or we built them in an oval shape to harness energy as well from the ground and in the air. Okay, and as we keep slipping down in consciousness, everything changes, meaning the way we live change, the structure of the buildings change, the way we eat change. You know, we have gotten so far down the path where we weren't even making the connections. We're not making the connections even with our food today.
Yes.
We are literally
Absolutely.
at the lowest point that we can go. We cannot go no lower than what we are.
Thank you, Queen. Yes.
The animals are more respectful and more in tune than what we have been resorted to. Okay?
Yes.
And based on that, the energy is so low, Mother Earth is like, oh no, this is it. All of this is being cleansed up. You rise up or you get off. So at the end of the day, again, family, that's why we keep stressing this. It's an energy thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful time. And you know, we don't want you to be fearful. You are going to continually to hear. It's going to ramp up even more. And I said this in November. You're going to hear, beginning of January, they're going to start putting out this fear stuff about, you know, don't go outside. Now we're hearing them throw terms around about reset and destruction. Yes, those things are happening, but they're only going to happen if you are not in tune. It is very, very important for you to get yourself in tune because, as Brother Sean said, as Brother Kali said, we're talking about your soul.
That's right.
This is the stuff that the Christians and them was talking about. Talking about your soul, the essence of who you are. So I'll yield and let somebody else put something on it.
No, you made it. You like I said, y'all make great, excellent points. I cannot stress to our people enough is that, you know, right now there's a time. I know we always talk about coming together, and some people say, well, how do you come together? You start with dialogue. You start with talking. There's nothing wrong with communicating. Start with talking to someone. You want to open up to your brother and sister. Start with that, and because right now we're being put in a position where though we're going to be forced to live together and stick together, or you're going to perish. You're going to perish because this entity on the planet is going to make it as hard and want us to look as foolish as we possibly can, as foolish as we can. See, this is what I want to tell people. I listen to YouTube channels and they say, man, you know, white people want to procreate with the black woman and the black man so they can survive. No, they don't. And I'm just being honest, and this is for the brothers. I just want you to I'm being honest here. If your mom walked in a room and she caught you doing some funny shit with a female dog, how would you react? You would be embarrassed. You would be like, man, hey, you know what I mean, Mom, what I'm doing? That's not natural for you to be messing with no dog. So now you look at our star family. They are looking at this from a scientific intergalactic being point of view. The Asian man, the Arab man, and the white man, they are all completely different from us. They all have animal blood, monkey, mosquito, wolf blood. They all have that blood in them. So if I'm at a higher self and I'm looking down on earth and I see that nothing natural in nature, the way I left nature as a teacher for our people, where though they could never lose sight. So if I'm looking at the elephant, I'm looking at the zebra, I'm looking at the giraffe, I'm looking at all these other animals that can sit at one pond and drink out the same pond together, but yet won't procreate with one another. They look at each other, speak to each other. Animals speak, nature talk to each other. They speak on a higher frequency, but they can drink out the same pond together, walk past each other, but they will not procreate with one another. They do not infringe their ways on anyone. A zebra cannot infringe his way on an elephant and tell the elephant to live the way the zebra will, because they live in two different lives. So this is the problem that we have. So I say to my brothers, even my sisters, you think our Star family is looking at this from a scientific point of view. You are foolish to have all of this information out here. All of this information, and even ourselves. I went to Catholic school, and I would ask my grandmother when I came home, why do they smell like this? So why? And I always ask girls, my grandmother would be like, listen, they just need to wash up. That's all she said. They need to wash up. You understand? That's all she would say. I went to Catholic school. So I know, you understand, firsthand. I'm like, why do they smell like? The Asian people smell like stink garlic and that melanin that comes off of them that's not natural melanin, it's animal melanin, which is phenomelanin. The Arab man is the same way. They don't wear deodorant, but they constantly eat all that meat and that stuff comes out of their pore. And the European man is the same way. Why do they smell like that? Why do they have to take baths and wash their hair because they attract lice and all of this stuff? Our Star family don't need to come down here for us to see that with our own physical 2 eyes. This is something that we should see with our own physical 2 eyes. They are completely different from us. So why would we be laying down with something that's completely different from us?
But you know why, brother? And I see you 218, sweetheart. I'm coming to you. But you know what? Here's the thing. Now, I know you know where I'm going with this, because think about all the Stitching's work. Because it was a group of folks that was doing the genetic modification and the genetic experiment, okay, and started creating, doing genetic modification, so meaning creating different beings, gene slicing and all of that, okay? And, well, first of all, a lot of it happened in a lot of solar systems, and then it was brought over here, but melanated folks had that knowledge as well. I think it was a different bloodline of melanated folks that decided to take that knowledge and start creating all of these different species and gene slicing. Because if you look at some ancient maps over in Africa, it shows all of these different species with the half, animal, half human. You see the Caucasians literally living underground. So once all the wars kept breaking out over time, breaking out, and then a lot of those species did not survive. I think some of them did survive, but it's hidden. To me, the biggest cover-up was to start mixing back into the bloodlines to make it harder to determine who is whom, if that makes sense. Now, ultimately, it's not going to work because Mother Earth knows who is her, who's a part of her, and the vibrations will shake that apart. But at a deeper level, the big cover-up is for the troublemakers and the shit starters to keep blending back in, or try to keep blending back in the rotten apples, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no question.
It's
no question.
But that's what went on.
No question. Like I say, tell my black people, we are connected directly to the source. Everything on any of these inner dimensions should be paying homage to us. Period. And they know that. They should be paying homage to us. They when you see when that sky open up, when our Star family, you're gonna see their skin jet black, green, and they're gonna be big and huge. And you're gonna see how they pay homage to us. But again, you're not gonna have these beings in these inner dimensions paying homage to people that don't even love themselves, that don't even know themselves. And this is the thing, they're laughing at us. This is a joke to them. Because first of all, we fell for the Jesus, we fell for the Muhammad, we fell for the Yeshua. We don't look at each other and see that we have a magnet that is inside of us.
Right.
And we are the ones that are keeping this system going. Like I said to you, I can tell somebody right now, I can say it's 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. And somebody will say, all of us will believe that, because I'm not saying I'm just throwing out a time, but if it was 7 o'clock, everybody would be like, well, it's 7 o'clock right now on the East Coast. But because we are all of us are mentally connected, we have brought that time and put that time in existence. But if I said it was 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and everybody was like, what the hell is 7 o'clock? And what is the East Coast? That don't even make sense to me. What is that? Now you're dealing with something completely different. Now you're not giving life to this energy no more. And that's what's going to break. This is where the 3 days of darkness is coming in, because our nighttime is really our daytime, and our daytime is really our night. After the 3 days of darkness, there will be no more calendar. There will be no more time. There will be just space and dimension. That's it. It will be after the 3 days of darkness, there will be no more time. It will be just space and inner dimensions. And we are going to see and maneuver through each dimension. We're gonna know what went on with us. Everyone is going to know.
Absolutely. So let me get to 218, caller 218. Just a second here. 218, your line is open.
Oh, peace and love, my beautiful sister. How are you?
I'm well, beloved. How are you?
Fantastic. Peace and love to the panel. Peace and love to the family. And if y'all can hear me, y'all can hear me loud and clear, I tell you what, the universe told me to deliver you a message. Oh, man, this is Rob Royal Donnell, Northwest of Maxim.
Indeed.
The brother, when you were talking about the animals drinking side by side, but each other's path, that was awesome. See, that is part of that unconditional love that we have lost, and not forever, but we lost it for distractions. We lost it for miseducation. We lost it for training that wasn't ours. That was somebody else's. And when we talk about mother correcting things, and when we talk about anything outside of ourselves, we talk about unifying. It's within us. Once we unify with ourselves, once we come to that point of unconditional love within, the light just brightens and shines, and the magnet just draws. And what's really dynamic is, we mentioned earlier, I heard some testimony to the fact of how things just appear. I thought about it and it came. And so that's what makes it so important and connects to so many forums that we had in the past where we were talking about cleansing ourselves.
That's right.
Because it's our thoughts that make. And then, brother, you just tied it on there with the time thing. So that by our thoughts and our thinking.
That's right.
And if we don't think on the basis of an unconditional love, something is wrong with us. And we're gonna be blocked off. Now, while we can realize this, and when we talk about that square, thank goodness for the square, but it serves two purposes. See, one is to lock things out, another is to lock things in. So
I hear that, brother.
So you know what I'm saying? So, when we look for the protective fortress, that's our protective fortress, so that if we are standing in the right mode, if we are in the right energy, then nothing can come in and destroy that, and only things will go out.
That's right.
Which is part of that magnet, which is why, it's such a beautiful scenario. So, and again, so as long as we can go within and develop that unification with our mind and heart, all right, and then our third eye can start looking for things that we really should have, that we really want to be, that will be beneficial to one and all, then we'll have it. And this is the day of having it.
That's right.
It's so beautiful. Right. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I just thank you for carrying on, my sister.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Peace and love unto you. Thank you so much, brother. And thank you for bringing up that the cube, yes, it does also, you can lock the energy in, but let's even go a step further. Because really with that cube, isn't that cube you supposed to be turning that cube and spinning that cube and making a macabre energy? Isn't that what we're really supposed to be doing with that cube instead of having it stationary? Because if you're spinning that cube into that macabre spin, into those triangular forms, and that's equivalent to the force field around you, then you cannot be touched.
I know that's right.
We have fallen so far that we're only operating within a one-dimensional square. And
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not one-dimensional. You're not three-dimensional. You're not five-dimensional. You are an unlimited being because you're connected to the source.
That's right.
So this is what, when we speak on these things about you giving up this system, because that stuff is beneath you. You don't need any of it. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you create it with your thoughts. And your memory will start to come back. And a lot of us, and I'm saying when I say a lot of us that's listening to our conversation, you will start to remember that, hell, you are co-creators of universes and worlds. So at the end of the day, what is a damn corporate white supremacy system? That's real far beneath you. So you have to put your thinking on a higher level. You are connected to unlimited energy. Everybody knows it, but all of us. But they put it in your face every day. There is not anything on this plane that has not been invented by you. That's with the good and with the bad.
That's right.
So very good
That's
drop,
right.
Brother 218. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Brother Kali, Brother Sean sent you that picture.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
And getting in line with higher frequencies and with natural thoughts. See, the problem with everybody being able to tap in right at this moment, they don't keep recreating shit in the system because that's all they mind focused on right now, still thinking at such a low frequency.
Yes.
So all of this has to go. And being a creator, you create greater things.
That's right.
All of this is nothing. Basically,
it really isn't.
What our people are fascinated with as quote unquote technology is actually 4 copies of your body, which is the most sophisticated computer out here.
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
That's the top of the line shit right there. You created the best shit that's ever going to be created, and you didn't got lost in it. You don't know how to work it or nothing. But you're so concerned with working the eye for this, that, or the other. And your body can do all of that shit and more.
Yep.
All of it.
Yep. In a millisecond.
We didn't need GPS. We didn't need GPS. It was right in our mind. We knew where to go.
Yep.
But see, that's another thing about people worried about the lights going out. If you had a higher frequency, just like you have animals that can see at night.
Come on, brother.
One time too.
That's right.
There was no limitation to us. There was no limitation. Come on, brother. I'm talking about.
So, I mean, we just got to let all this go. I mean, whatever technology we had in the past, it didn't protect us. We obviously still wasn't in tune with Mother.
Exactly.
So, I mean, to be rehashing up any of that old technology, whether you're talking about mud, flood, or this, that, or the other, the whole world couldn't have been flooded with mud because there's too much shit that wasn't covered up.
There you go. Right.
So, I mean, they just trying to take our focus off the bigger picture, which the fact is, regardless of what you say did or didn't happen, it's our shit.
Yes,
we
it is.
Decide what we want to believe or don't want to believe when you gone. I mean, that
That's
shit
right.
we can sit up and joke and laugh about when you gone.
Yep.
I mean, we ain't got to worry about that bullshit right now. We got business to handle.
That's so true, brother. That is so absolutely true. Very, very good drop. Very, very good drop. Sis, did you have any questions for Kali? Anybody else on the line? Just press *1 to get in the queue.
Well, we done passed up so many things. I wanted to ask something. I don't know what it was. So it's good. I enjoyed this. I enjoy the knowledge that's been put out for the family and getting knowledge back to myself as well, because we can all grow. Because I have not arrived, but I'm trying to get there. But anyway, and I'm getting there. But so it was really great to hear these things, these words of wisdom that was spoken to us. And for those, they say, have a hear, let them hear. So I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I just didn't want to be hogging it up. In the chat room, GD Thompson 42, it's probably God Thompson 42, put something in here that really stood out to me. I have seen myself in the sky kissing, I believe, my spiritual guide. My guides also sleep with me every night. And that resonates with me because of the following, because I didn't start taking pictures of the sky until I ran across your work, Brother Kali, and shout out to my sis. She knows who she is, who put me on you, because she hit me up and was like, check this brother out. And she was like, and I already vetted him. I think you're going to like him. So that's how I got your work. And once I seen it, then I started taking pictures. And I just recently started, I want to say New Year's Eve, and started blowing them up. And sure enough, the stuff is there. He's not making it up. I personally done it. I have personally went outside. I turns my flash off and clicks in the sky randomly, blows the shit up, and he's right. The things are there. But what was interesting, and I'm getting back to God Thompson's 42 point, every time that in my particular area, and it could be because I'm at the crib doing my snapshots, and I do need to experiment and go into other areas and take snapshots, I see sisters in the sky as well. And I know it's sisters because they got locks.
Yes, queen.
This is the part that tripped me out. Two of the sisters was looking dead fucking at the camera. And their eyes were a different color. Almost like one was like rubies and one was like green. They was looking dead at me like, yep, here I am. And they literally had locks. And my mouth dropped open like, wow, is this the divine feminine energy being projected in the sky, this energy sweeping across the sky to help clean up? So I'm saying all that to say, God Thompson 42, what you said you saw with you in the sky with your spirit guide, that is absolutely 100% true. It ain't nothing that you thought that you dreamed. That is literally actually true. So, and thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate it.
And I'm glad that our people. This is what I want. You know, I don't want to cut anyone off, but I'm glad that our people today are more willing to express themselves and speak about the experiences that they are having. You understand? Because what we must understand is that they used to kill us off of this. They used to kill, when you talk about they killed witches and stuff back in the day for witchcraft and all, this is what they called us. Devil, this is devil worshiping. You burning sage, you doing meditation, you doing spiritual rituals. That was called witchcraft. Devil, they was called devil worshiping. So they killed you off of this. And the reason why they killed black people, because they knew who we were. And as we got older, especially a couple generations ago, you know, your parents would, you know, you say something to parents, like, keep your mouth shut because you don't want to go to school and they think you crazy. But the bottom line is that we suppress. They made our people suppress their inner ability. So I tell anyone, brother or sister, you seen something, you feel something. You walk outside and you talk to somebody, and all of a sudden you absorb so much energy from them, and that you feel their pain because you are empath. Don't fight your natural ability. You are unique. Don't be afraid to speak up about your gifts and your greatness.
Right. Indeed. Very, very, very powerful, brother. So, Brother Sean, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, because I wanted you to also bring up about the picture that you sent Brother Kali also. So go ahead, Brother Sean.
As far as for what he was just saying, I mean, ain't we just been covering all that in the book of demonology for the past?
We have. Yeah, for the past 6 weeks. Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
I sent you
go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I want you to tell Brother Kali.
Oh, I sent you a picture of the moon also. I sent you an original one and a couple different filters. I'm not going to say what I saw in it or what Sis saw in the moonlight, not directly in the moon.
Okay.
You know, in the illuminated area around it. We both saw some pretty interesting things in there. That I'd like to hear what you see when you get a chance to look at it.
Okay. Now, did you send it to my email, or you sent it to? How did you send it to me? Messenger. Okay, I'm ready to go on there right now.
Okay, but yes, Brother Sean, that's exactly what we've been talking about for the past 6 weeks in that book of demonology. And the reason that we chose the book, because number one, we wanted to show you all and put the information out there that King James, a melanated man who commissioned for the Holy Bible to be written, did demonology beforehand. Now, going into it, I had no idea it was going to be that deep, because what we're seeing so far is that all it's talking about is the different spiritual side, and how King James and his crew was trying to suppress that information and put it all on devil work, Satan, And a lot of it was suppression of the oracle, the women oracles of the time.
Yes.
That had that direct spiritual connection to usher in the whole male worship, the whole Bible ideology. Okay, so that really, I did not expect that out of demonology. Now, last week, the one thing that stood out to all of us when he, meaning King, I can't remember if that was Epi. Wasn't it Epi? Because the book is an argument between two people, Phi and Epi. Where Epi admitted who Lucifer was. He admitted who Lucifer was. No, he's the morning star, and he's tied to astrology. And we were like,
there you go. There you go.
Wait a minute, bud. You admitting this in demonology in 1597, but yet when the Bible is written, and we keep trying to tell you all that the Bible is a book of astrology. It has a little bit of genealogy mixed in there. It's astrology. And to me, Revelations is talking about what's going on right now. So you just flat out spelled it out in demonology who Lucifer is. And throughout demonology, we pointed out how Epi, after he talked the shit about the witches being with Satan and they making it up in their mind, or they being possessed, or they're doing Satan's work, but then he'll turn around and talk in circles and admit on which God that you are worshiping. Are you worshiping your higher level God, your God? And if so, none of this shit I'm talking about applies to you. But if you worshiping the lowercase God, then all of this applies to you. Because that's the frequency that you choose to be on. You signed a contract with the lower frequency God versus your higher God consciousness, capital God. This is what was put in 1597 in this book of demonology. And it still applies today. So he's basically telling us in demonology, spells being cast upon you. If you are not in your higher God body self, you are under someone else's jurisdiction because you are worshiping something outside of yourself.
Thank you, Queen. I love you. Yes, that's the truth. That's the whole thing right there. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So when people find some money off the ground, they be like, oh, thank you, God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. No, you just worship the lower God. That's who you gave your soul to. You just gave your energy to that person right there. Because God, the divine one, mother, because you can't show me a black woman that can look at a black baby, look at a star seed, or any other star seed for that matter, because that's how much love we have in our heart. But you can't show me a black woman that will look at a baby and leave that baby hungry. So why would Mother Earth charge us to live on her planet?
To live on her, exactly.
Why would she do that? You can't look at a black woman with, man, I know what the true black woman is. Come on, man. Ain't no, a black woman will give you anything. She will give you her heart, but just I look at the black woman. Listen, only black people can do this. You let a white boy go up in a church, set up. See, he went in there with the intent to kill and slaughter. And what did he do? He went in there and killed and slaughtered. The very next day, black people and white people in that same church saying we forgive them. Only black people can do that. Only black people. Only black people. Mention Hitler to a Jew and see what happens. Mention Hitler to a Jew, and he only killed 200 of them.
Right. 1,000% totally agree with you. So, family, not trying to beat a dead horse, but it's important for us to get the point across that we have to come back in balance of self. Nothing happens outside of self. So this whole construct of a corporation, politicians, the whole financial system, money, time, all of it is an illusion.
Thank you.
All of it has limitations.
Thank you.
Okay?
That's
it's
right.
It's not natural. It's not natural, and it has to go. It is going. So you have to have your vessel together in order to move forward with the higher energy.
I don't know if any of y'all seen this, right? And I'm a strong advocate for Mr. MB33. His YouTube channel, his name is Mr. MB33, and people all over the globe send him in pictures. Over London yesterday, people are catching all across the globe these huge pyramid-shaped crafts. Now, I had a dream. I had a vision last year, way beginning of last year. Maybe the end of 2016, the year before last month. No, 17. Wow, I can't believe we're in 2019 that fast. But however, I had a dream. I literally walked outside. People were running back and forth, and I seen two big, black, huge pyramids sitting in the sky. Now, someone sent Mr. MB3 a video yesterday from London in Europe where there was a huge, when I say huge, it was a huge pyramid-shaped craft sitting in the sky, cloaked in the clouds. This is coming to a fast end.
Yes, it
now,
is.
People can call me racist. You can call me whatever you want. Slavery is coming, but it's not coming for the black race no more. Slavery is coming for another race. Those that, and this is fully honest, those that knows what's happening and just waiting for the sky to just part itself, those that they're going to take themselves out fast because they don't want to live. A lot of people are not going to be able to deal or live with the fact that what they did to us, knowing the truth, and now that our extended family has returned, they're not going to be able to live with the fact that they're going to have to live amongst each other with barely no vegetation and food. You're going to see, all of us is going to see who the true animal is. We're going to witness and see who the true animal is.
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up, brother, because my theory on it with the north freezing, and now that ain't no theory, that's true. The north literally is freezing, but my theory is going to be frozen up north, and when we say up north, we're talking Asia and Europe.
Right.
That's why I call it Eurasia, because it's one continent. So that whole jazz, and then below, meaning us, it's going to heat up, and we already know this. Sis Lioness had emailed me, and it was some other folks that was on the email thread, and one of the sisters was talking about her doggone fig trees are blooming.
Yes.
So we already know that it's heating up, and Brother Sean and I, we're in Ohio, and we were just, 2 days ago, we could have had on our motherfucking shorts, and then we wakes up the next day, and all of a sudden it's so-called cold because they're trying to keep it cooled off in our particular region because it's heating up so much, okay? And that heating up will cause the people that cannot take the heat to go into the cold. And then when you're in the cold, then you have to survive for food. Why do you think that China is over in Africa. Y'all think it's to take over Africa in a different way, resources. It's not so much pulling the resources out the ground as it is for agriculture. If you look, China has bought up a lot of land for agricultural, and that's what they're also saying is happening over in Kali, where those fires broke out because they think China is trying to set up agriculture over there as well. But I'm here to tell you, now this is Rhonda's theory. This is what's being put in my spirit. They will not, if you're not on Mama's frequency, you won't be able to enjoy a drop of water. You will not be able to enjoy any plants because everything is getting upgraded. So that means if you're going in the soil and the soil is getting upgraded, that means the plants are getting upgraded. So then if you eat of that and they have UV radiation in it, and we know that the UV radiation is higher in the ground, they're not talking about it, but you have people out there measuring it, then how you going to be able to eat the plants and survive if you ain't on the proper frequency? I'll wait. Yes, sir.
And in the regions that it's not super hot, like the tropical regions, they're experiencing floods, mudslides, and everything. Yep. All these playgrounds that they thought they was going to set up shop at and be able to eat and enjoy themselves. All they got to be cleansed too.
Yep, and I know people talk about them going underground, and what I saw, they can carry their ass underground if they want to. They just making it easy for the planetary cleanup, because that's a tomb. Taking your monkey ass underground, you literally sealing yourself in a tomb.
Thank you.
They're going to be future fossil fuel.
Ooh, damn.
Absolutely. No question. I mean, this is a real good energy. This is a real good. I mean, I love the energy that's on this show right here, Queen. I really thank you for bringing me on here. I really do.
Oh,
talking
thank
to the people.
you for being on here with us, brother. And you're welcome to join us anytime. It's been a very good exchange. So I love the information you put out there. I love the energy that you're putting out there for people to look within self and just love one another, because you're not going to be able to make it if not.
And that's true. That's a true statement. I mean, we're going to have very few individuals that are able to stand on their own too. But again, you know, it's about us as a whole. And
exactly.
We're coming into some we are in great times. But
yes, we are.
Have to prepare for this dark shadow government to make it as difficult as possible. They want to suck up as many souls as they possibly can before they fully depart off of this planet, before they fully relinquish completely of their power.
Exactly. Before they get purged off, because
exactly.
I think they're trying to, and I was at least trying to give them the little benefit of saying, oh, well, you know, they're trying to go over to Mars, they're trying to go over to Mars, but Brother Sean out the gate kept saying they ain't finna be able to go nowhere.
Nah,
they get ready to be cleansed off.
I think I think the Mars thing is because, again, like I said, this entity has to give you the truth and the lie all in one statement. Now, these people were created on this planet. So, I mean, the way I look at it is that they were giving, this entity has been lying to these people that these things that are in dimensions, and they have been lying to their race of people, and they have been lying to us. This is all like, I mean, this is when you have someone that can do this. I always say this to somebody: if I'm at the head I'm the top guy that did all of this on this planet. And now, just look at the court system, how it works with us. The rural police officers show up. Now, when they show up, they're going to say, listen, here's the deal. Clean this crap up, or, you know what I mean, or you're going to get the full punishment, or this, that, and the third. And I believe that this entity made a deal, some sort of a deal, or something went on, whereas though this entity is like, okay, you can have the rest of the planet, and I'll be able to come back and do this all over again. See, this is not the first time that this has took place. This is not the first time this took place. People think this is the first time that this has taken place. No, it's not. This has been going on for quite some time. I believe this is constantly a cycle that goes on, and this is a learning process. That's all it is. This is how the universe gets intelligent. This is how the universe gets smart, because I believe that these entities been here on this planet for over 200,000 years. See, this is how long it took for them to get us in the conditions that we got in.
Right.
This is how long it took also to create these race of people. You have to understand, with science come trial and error. The first time that they created one of these humanoids, they wasn't perfectly designed, because if you go look at search right now the human pig that the scientists are actually growing in a lab, you can see that it's coming out with birth defects. It's coming out all kinds of, all kinds of problems. And if you look at the Asian race, the Arab race, and the European race, Zachariah Sitchin spoke that when they were originally created, they wasn't even allowed to reproduce with one another.
That's right.
They wasn't even allowed to reproduce.
And that's why is it not a time limit on that gene anyway? Come on now, let's be honest.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, please.
On the reproduction, and that's something they are not being honest with their own people. The fertility rate being low for those particular races, they know why it's low, but they won't tell the damn truth.
Come on, Queen.
They won't even tell the truth that the white man has only been in existence for at the most 6,000 years. For the most 6,000 years, he only been in rulership starting about 2,000, but total rulership, and this is what's going to blow people's mind, he's only been in total rulership since the 1700s.
Thank you, babe. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, that's true. That's totally true. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Because they wasn't ruling us. The only way they never ruled over us until they created the gun in I think they created the gun in 1532 or 1524. They were never able to rule.
Exactly.
Was never able. You could never. It takes on average it takes on average 3 to 4 white men to deal with one black woman. This is how strong we naturally are. It takes on average 3 to 4 white men to deal with one black woman. So can you imagine how many white men it would take to deal with one black man? This is why when Hannibal went over into Europe, he only went into Europe with 70,000 men. He went against over 800,000 Roman soldiers. 800,000. This is people don't understand. I'm glad you made that point right there. I am so glad you made that point. They could never rule over us the way that they're ruling over us until that gun was created. That's it.
Right. Brother Sean, you had something you want to put on it?
I don't even think it was the gun that permitted them to be able to rule over us. It's actually when they took out the oracles. When they got
I agree. But that was around the, 1600s? Yep.
Yeah, because they even spoke about the fact of the oracles being elementals, being able to control the weather.
Yeah.
And this, that, and other. So, the type of weapons that they had back then, I mean, you got to sit up there, put the gunpowder in it, and then the flint, this, that, and the other. If the sisters made it rain, that bullshit ain't working anyway.
Exactly.
So,
and we still have those powers, but I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean.
Exactly. they're only laying dormant, and they fit off into what has been called junk DNA. That's all the stuff that they never want you to tap off into.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Because, like you say, our sky brothers and sisters, some of them laughing at us. They like, these motherfuckers can fly and do all types of shit. Look at they punk asses.
Thank you, brother. Come on.
Look at your punk ass. Get up, Jimmy.
Right.
Get up, Jimmy.
Right.
Come on, brother.
You know, like we at the show.
Entity. Exactly. Whining over a 6,000-year entity, and I'm not going to lie. And who's to say? I might be in another dimension laughing my motherfucking self saying, bitch, you sitting up here complaining. You was just dealing with me 2 goddamn days ago. And now you on Earth talking about some you don't have no power.
Praying to Jesus and shit.
Exactly.
See, that's why I love talking to real intergalactic being people, man. Because see, y'all understand that when people be talking about they just trying to make you, they trying to survive. No, they not. People, they making us look foolish, man. This is foolishness to be being led by something that we taught. You understand? This is serious. We're being led. This is foolish.
That's like you raise a child and your child whip your ass. Well, bitch, whose fault is that?
My mother always told me growing up, my grandmother, right, being raised, she would say, don't you ever follow nobody. You do something because you want to do it. Don't do it because you see somebody else doing it. And what are we doing? Literally, we follow their economic system, their political system. They play their football game. If you look at the football stadiums, right, it'd be spaceships over the football stadiums. They're literally looking at our people.
Exactly.
Look, they're literally looking at our people being used as cattle. And they like, and this is what I say to black people when they get upset at me when I say that we're going to be judged. We're going to be judged. They be like, well, Clyde, what do you mean by we're going to be judged, brother? We are following someone for money. Money. If you say something to somebody and say, listen, so everything comes from the earth. They're not creating anything. Everything comes from the earth. So why do you need to work? People look at you like you crazy. Look at you like you crazy.
Like for heads, when you say that you shouldn't have to pay to live on a planet that provides everything for you for free, and they don't get it. I'm like, I don't know what you not getting what I say, and these are the ideologies that if folks want to continue on in the higher frequencies, they got to let that shit go, because that system itself of government and monetary system and working, it is a spell, people. It is a spell. It has built-in flaws.
Yes. Anything that you hear, government, environment, that's mental. That the government was created because they feel as though that the people don't have the mental capacity to make good decisions. Your environment is controlled by your government. So now you have look at our environment. Our environment's trash, dirty. Don't look out in the suburbs and think white people keep their suburbs clean. No, it's not. They just send more trucks and shit up there to constantly keep that shit clean. They purposely leave us in the conditions that we are in. Purposely leave us in these conditions.
Yep.
Government means absolutely nothing to you. It's a mental control.
Absolutely. It is a mental control. And, again, if we want to move forward, resonate at a high frequency, all of that stuff has to be let go, because, perfect example, and when we get into the series about the Black Royals over in Europe, I was reading this one particular book, and literally they were arguing, the church and the Black Royals were arguing on what day sports were going to be played, because the Black Royals wanted the sports to continue to play on Sunday, and I can't remember which was which, but anyhow, my point being of saying that it blew me back to see this information going back to I think that was like in the 1300s, that they were arguing over when professional sports were going to be played for the pleasure of the people. So I'm bringing it forward to say this shit has been going on for quite some time to distract you and take you away from who you really are. All of that shit, entertainment, sports, all a distraction. All a distraction. Because all your free time, you work, which you ain't supposed to be doing. Then when you're not working, folks are either trying to get some form of entertainment and that includes sports. So when do people really have time to be with themselves and to go within self to learn self? It's been the total opposite. Right. People have been using these things to do everything but be with self, because most people don't want to be with self. And until you can be with self, to look self in the mirror and take inventory of self, you're always going to be looking outside for something. And that energy just snapped you right on up and used you the way it wants to use you. So now all of the spells, all of the seals, all of that shit has been unveiled. The energy is here. It's up to you. And I'm so strong about it. To me, should nobody have to step off a motherfucking spaceship to save you?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna be real about it.
Come on,
nobody should have to step out no ship to save you. You have everything you need just with your thought.
Thank you. When our people really find out, see, that's when our chastisement is going to happen. Because they're going to say, you still looking for someone to save you? When you was really responsible for, we really was responsible for Mother Earth. We relinquished our responsibilities. Yes, we relinquished our powers and our responsibilities to Mother Earth. So they had to clean Mother Earth up first. And then they're going to deal with us.
And guess what, people? She is the priority. Let's be real motherfucking clear. She's the priority.
Source of life.
Because, exactly. This is her shit. You want her shit.
Thank you.
So that's why I'm strong in what I say. If she say, Rhonda, your ass got to go, well, okay, well, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Queen.
It is what it
Queen.
is.
Come on, babe.
She is the priority. You are to be in tune and in harmony with her. You are supposed to vibe to her tune and leave her in better condition than what she's in.
Thank you.
If you cannot do that, you will not remain. So all of these things with the mentals, the governmentals, entertainment, all of that other matrix is beneath her natural vibration. It's going away. And if you are still stuck with that, if you are still buried in contracts, spiritual contracts with that matrix, you're not going to make it. But it don't have to be that way. All you have to do is change your mind. That's all you have to do.
That's it. Change your mind. Change your outlook on how you look at things. That's it. That's all it is, Queen.
Absolutely. We're going into overtime for those that are in the chat room. If you want to continue to join us, you have to dial in to 929-477-3858. I'm sorry, 3858, 929-477-3858. We have 2 minutes before we go into overtime. If you're not going to join us, thank you very, very much. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I didn't want to get that in.
Right. I understand.
Okay.
But also what people have to take into consideration is we were born from her. She gave birth to us.
Yes.
Everything else is something else. And like how they say, prison planet, dome, this, that, or the other. It's simply an isolation of foreign bodies, just like how you develop a tumor and this, that, or the other. It's actually confining whatever foreign bodies are there. They don't spread throughout the body till they decide to cut it open and release it. But unfortunately, with Mama, they just can't cut her open and be able to spread out into all them other parts that they don't belong to. Yeah, they tried long enough, but all that's over with now. So we just got them. We got to let them die. And those of us who choose to stay infected, vibrating at that low frequency, is what permits you to be infected. Then I guess you're going to perish. But we got to remember our relationship with her first and foremost. If you don't have a relationship with her, you will be in no position to be able to defend her.
That's right.
That's a very good point.
That's right. Very good point.
We don't pay homage to the fact that we are universes, and we actually got smaller sentient beings in us that need to be properly took care of, like Mama properly takes care of us.
Absolutely.
We're not doing that either. So that's the reason why you can't fly. That's the reason why your pineal gland is calcified. You're not taking care of your universe either.
Thank you.
Mama gave you your own universe to be a master of it. But while you're mastering your universe, she's taking care of you, and you're supposed to take care of her.
Thank you. Absolutely.
It's balance.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And it's interesting, Brother Sean, and thank you for bringing back up the fact about the oracles, or what they were calling witches, the melanated women who, had that, and we still do, that spiritual power that, we were able to, and we still are, we just don't use it, control the weather on the planet. So it's really, really sad to show you what condition we're in when we keep calling out what the quote parasites / elites are controlling the weather, and they have spent a lot of years geoengineering some ancient technology, but we do the shit naturally. And we still have the power to do it naturally. And I'll never forget, Bobby Hemmett, he was the first one that brought it to my attention in one of his lectures years ago on YouTube, and I can't remember which one, so just forgive me. But he said that the gas company almost went broke one year because it was so cold that melanated folks got tired of paying that high-ass gas bill. So they started praying or saying, man, I do not want this winter to be cold. I want it to be a mild winter, blah, 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 blah. So long story short, because that collective thought in that particular region said we're not going to have a cold winter, it was milder than the mother effer. And they knew that and started bringing the prices of the gas bills down. So that just shows you how much power that we have as these galactic beings. Even you individually, I have done it before. When you're out and you get ready to see the weather act up, you speak to the weather. And the weather is going to cooperate with you. I have done it many, many times. Where to the point I'm bringing my groceries in the house, I get on the last step with the last bag on my motherfucking porch and it started pouring down raining. This is our particular energies that we have because we are tied to Mother Earth. But because we've gotten so out of tune and we've handed over the responsibility to someone else, then that's why we have gotten what we've gotten. And it's such a watered-down version, us, our natural self, that it has thrown everything out of balance. What we have to realize, that same white supremacy system, that same quote-quote white boy, that same parasite elites that we complain about, we have to real with our eyes, with our real eyes, overstand that it took him a hell of a long time to geoengineer these things, and the shit still is beneath you.
That's right, baby. Yes. That's right. Absolutely. That's right.
So we know
a long time.
Exactly. It took them a long time to get this technology. And they had the books. Don't think that they didn't have the books and the blueprint. They had it. But it took them a long time. Exactly. We taught it to them. We taught it to them, and it took them still all that time to literally geoengineer, so meaning backtrack, look at the motherfucking book, and put that shit together. When you don't have to do none of that. You can do it with your thoughts.
Right. Right. That's 100% right. Queen Rhonda, listen, I'm sitting here.
I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
No, I apologize. Listen, I'm sitting here. I want to finish up. I'm going to leave up out of here at work. I want to tell y'all, I want to thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you.
I hope hopefully to come back on here, more often and talk with y'all because I love this, man. I truly do. I love getting the word out as much as we possibly can. Each one teach one. That's how we grow. I want to finish up here on my job before I leave out of here because my coworker is on his way here. But I definitely enjoyed talking to you and reaching out to you. Brother Sean, I really appreciate that, brother. I send you nothing but positive. I send all of y'all nothing but positive love, light, and healing energy. I hope that, you continue to go on and push forward, Queen, and you and this good brother on your show. And continue to and reach our people because y'all definitely giving a strong message out. And definitely a strong message.
Same to you, brother. Peace and love. Likewise. And, exactly. We'll definitely link back up. So thank you so much, brother. Peace and love.
We on every
Thursday. Y'all have a great one.
Hit us up.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
just
definitely.
Hit us up. It's an open invitation.
Oh, definitely. That's what I'll definitely do that then. I will definitely do that. No question about that.
Okay, brother. All right. Well, peace and love.
All right.
Okay.
Peace, love, and light to all of you. All right. One love.
All right, brother. Okay. Oh, I really, really appreciate that, brother, coming on. So, again, that was Brother Kali. His YouTube channel is Kali Maat AmunRa. I highly, highly recommend it. He drops a lot of stuff. So, okay, I'll pause because I know I've been kind of going in tonight. So, Brother Sean or Sis, you had anything to put on? There's just so much going on, y'all, and ooh.
But it's so good to hear it. It makes you. If you're not awake, you better hurry up. That's all I gotta say, because time is short. it's really good to hear all this information out and that he was saying, and Brother Sean and you. I'm just sitting here enjoying it.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting, and just for reference, family, that Twilight Zone episode I was talking about is called The Midnight Sun. So The Midnight Sun, if you can go watch that, you're going to see all the stuff we've been speaking on over these past couple years and the stuff that we're starting to see jump off in the physical now. They talked about it. They're showing you in that particular episode. It's called The Midnight Sun. But, you know, it's interesting that one of the plasma videos that I was watching over the past day, and Brother Sean, I'll have to send you the one because you and I both was looking at one at the same time, but I went and looked at the video that she was referencing with the other man that was breaking it down, and over the 2-hour time period, he went into the actual the metaphysics / scientific of what the plasma is and how it's connected to the sun. He did a good job, but he didn't connect anything spiritually, and that's okay. I understand because that's not where he's in tune. But the one interesting thing, it's a lot of interesting things he said, but the one thing that he said as far as time is concerned, he said that, well, we're not in the time that they tell us that we are in. No. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know that. Most people don't know that. But this is the interesting thing. He said time has sped up. So I kind of chuckled because all of us that are spiritually in tune, we feel it. We didn't need anybody to tell us that time has sped up. So he said, if you don't believe me, now I think he made that particular video in August of 2018. And so at that time of that video, according to him, he said that time has sped up by 11 minutes. And he said, and what you can do to track it is get yourself an analog watch. So in other words, the back in the day watches, and start tracking time from the analog watch and comparing it to the computers and cell phones, and you're going to see where it's a difference in the time. And they're hiding it. Okay? And it would make sense that time, what they're calling time, is speeding up because time, as you know, a real knowledgeable brother told me years ago, time is really emit spelled backwards, so meaning emit a frequency spelled backwards. So if time or emit has sped up, doesn't that mean that the frequency has sped up and is higher? And that's what is being hidden from everyone because they're trying to keep the spell going so folks don't get tuned into the higher frequency. They're not realizing with their real eyes going on what is shaking down. And I find it very, very just fascinating that we have Christians, Islam, Judaism, stinking-ass Catholic Church, who really runs all of those.
Yeah.
But nobody's talking about these last days. None of them are talking about it. I know personally folks that sit in church a couple of times a week. I ain't heard none of them talking about specifics in these last days. And these things are written in the books. We can talk about Nibiru or the Destroyer or the Red Planet or Wormwood, that alone is in the Bible.
Right.
And nobody's talking about it. Mm-hmm.
But see, everything's showing up with Jesus.
Ooh, damn.
Say again?
They still wait on him.
Oh, yeah. The
That's
help from the outside.
I mean, they don't know who they looking for anyway. What he look like? I mean, okay, they described him in the book, but who say he ain't got a haircut or something right now? Because no one niggas know who he is, coming up to him, touching on him, asking him for shit. Like I see where y'all be bugging my daddy, calling out my name all the goddamn time. About to manifest around you niggas.
Exactly. I hadn't thought about it like that because they're too busy focusing on the Jesus coming back in the sky.
Or Muhammad.
Or Muhammad, exactly. Or Yahweh or Joshua.
Yeah, but sis, also, they're waiting till they die to be rewarded. They're not looking for nothing to happen when they're alive.
Damn.
They just hoping to survive long enough to die in good enough grace to get rewarded. You know, they got to go through all their suffering. They got to be the victims. They got to cry the loudest. Oh Lord, I've been suffering all my life. My people's been suffering forever and 36 trillion, gazillion, bazillion years, Lord. Oh, we the most sufferingest people to ever be.
Right.
Maybe that's why they don't dream. They're afraid they may get something.
But
I hadn't thought about it like that.
The whole concept of dreaming, which is actually a reality.
Right.
You know, coming out the age of belief, which required dreaming, this, that, and that. It's time for us to be active. It's time for us to be doing.
Exactly.
Instantly manifesting.
And instantly manifesting. That's right.
Being able to be cognizant in every realm that we simultaneously exist in.
That's right.
Just like they was telling us on the Matrix, that's going back to the whole reset thing. When he was there with the controller or the programmer, he told him, we've done this simulation many times. We've done this, destroyed and recreated. I mean, if you really think about it, who would actually be the programmers and the creators? It's us.
It is.
Would nothing be in existence
without us? That's right.
It wouldn't have any power or quote-unquote life if we didn't give it to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
we built in the program this particular showdown, if you want to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they already knew they were done for. For them, it's just a matter of taking down as many as they can, like how they put it in biblical terms. That God and the devil got a deal, you know, that if he give man free will, man go follow him and instead of
right.
other. But he can't physically do anything to anybody, you know. And neither one is going to intervene, you know, because man is left to his free will, this, that, or the other. I mean, if they even understood that concept of what they believe, they would know that ain't nobody fucking coming to help them.
Yep.
You don't listen to your higher self, or you going to fall for somebody else's bullshit.
Somebody else's okie doke. Yep. Absolutely. Sis, I'm sorry, did you have something?
I was just wondering, since love is the prime motivator of righteousness and goodness in our universe, what effect does love have on the pineal gland functioning?
Well, think about the chakras and or the energy centers, just to be clear, because I don't want people to think that the chakras are something mysterious, because it's just different energy portals. Okay, so the heart or love chakra is in the middle.
Right.
Okay, of your energy center. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is the gateway between higher and lower self.
Right.
So if your higher realm or your pineal gland or your crown chakra, your higher self, is above the heart chakra, that means you have to balance your love chakra in order to get to the higher realms.
Right. I'm just thinking about love and respect to the people who love us, and they're not melanated, because there's a lot of people like that out there. And what is going to be there in to this whole drama that's about to unfold?
Who's they? So let's be specific, so I can make sure I'm clear and understand. Mm-hmm.
Non-melanated people. I'm talking
now,
about
non-melanated people, and this is why I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. It's based on your vibration.
All right.
Because if you're in tune with Mother, then you should be okay.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't want it to sound. I was hearing one-sided, information about just us, but that's I know it's not just us, because that is too many people who love to a point that they can deal with Mother Nature just the way it is, and they want to be with Mother Nature and do everything for, on an equal level with other people like ourselves. So I was just wondering.
Right. No, and I keep trying to make that point, because I don't want, quote, quote, melanated people to think that we're all going to make it.
No.
When we have fucked up behavior and we're not in tune. So
right.
I say again that Mother Earth, if a quote, quote, non-melanated person is in tune and a melanated person isn't, the melanated person, they're not going to make it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, energy is energy.
Exactly.
Now, the sad part about it, as melanated people, you have been given a special gift with this skin suit. But if you ain't used it properly and you fucked up, then you're not going to make it. So ain't no need you pointing down at the white boy or the white woman that's in tune. Energy is energy, people. It's what light are you emitting in your light body. That's what's going to survive. It's based on your energy. And who's to say we even going to have these same skin suits?
Exactly.
So that's why I keep harping on what I'm harping on. Everybody's going to be called on the carpet. Everybody.
I mean, what I'm saying too, I heard that some of us is made with this and some of us made with that. But I also heard that some folks don't even have a soul. So not in this conversation, but I had heard that people, you know what I mean? That some of them don't have souls. So it's kind of like,
Who is some
I mean,
of them?
it's
Be
some
specific
of them.
so we can address it.
They didn't say specifically who it was that didn't have those. I imagine they were talking about some of the European entities or those that are in their cover-up suits that don't have souls. So if you don't have a soul, you don't have that light body, because that is your soul.
But there's soulless, melanated skin suits running around.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Spirit is essentially a ghost. So, I mean, anything can have a spirit, but everything don't have a soul.
Right.
And then as far as for what is quote-unquote indigenous or actually birthed by mother, I mean, if it's an agreed-upon fact that most universes are melanated, okay, there's different type beings in other universes. Some of them may be friendly. We may get along with them on a galactic level, but I'm sure at that level of intelligence, they ain't mixing no seed. So, I mean, as far as everybody being able to get along, that's one thing, but the whole mixing of the seed, I think that's a whole different thing, because we're from different places, and by our very creation, we are at a different frequency.
Yes.
So some things are just a matter of being. And if we're concentrated on being who we are and doing what we're supposed to do with mama and take care of our business, all the rest of that will be sorted out without us giving a thought to it.
Exactly.
And we ain't got to think about it.
I totally agree. I agree, but, again, my stance is I'm not going to sit here and say that all white people are not going to make it. I'm not saying that, because it's an energy thing. But what I am saying with the melanated folks, don't think because you melanated you're going to make it. You still have to resonate at the frequency. Don't think everybody that's melanated has a soul, because they don't, like Brother Sean said, and you know who they are by the way they move. And that's the thing that we have brushed under the rug because of the color thing.
You mean the way they move in relationship to their body?
No. I'm using a slang term. When we say the way somebody move in these streets. So meaning the way you act.
But everybody that's posing as Caucasians ain't Caucasian.
I 1000% agree with you.
That's truth. They got the skin suit that they jumped into, but they had the soul of a melanated person. Yeah.
Because who's to say? It could be some melanated beings that reincarnated back into a white skin suit. Exactly.
I've been worrying with this all week long, and I said, okay, because everything that is not. Just because you see it as such doesn't mean it is such.
Exactly.
So, because I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem to be a fair balance in righteousness if it's just based on pigmentation of melanation. So that's what I was just thinking about all week.
No, I agree, and I'm glad you brought that up, sis, because I don't want anyone to think that me personally think that, because that's not the case. I keep saying it every week. Energy is energy. Either you gonna vibrate at the energy or you not. That's whether or not you're melanated or Caucasian. It just so happened that what we see across Mama that the majority of the Caucasians have been kicking it up.
Yeah.
And, benefiting and walking around feeling ain't shit wrong with the system. And the only time they feel something is wrong with it is when it impacts them.
That's
a price has to be paid for that.
That's 74.5% or so,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's 74.5% of the folks that was polled that felt they don't owe the indigenous folks a goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very high percentage.
Sure is.
Now, that's just on that topic alone. That's not talking about all of the rest of the world in whole on how folks view the world and how they are operating within the world.
Right.
Everybody has to be held accountable. And that's including us melanated people, because even within this quote-quote conscious community,
they done lied and cheated and done
everything. I cannot even tell you how many people that we have personally saw that say they about one thing, but we see them move in a totally fucking different direction.
Mm.
They have no connection to Mother Earth. None.
Mm.
Absolutely none. Their sole goal is to be on top of the existing system, to first navigate through the existing system, and then to be on top of the existing system. But the land beneath their feet, the very air that they breathe to keep them alive, the water that they drink, they're not fucking concerned about none of that.
Wow.
Now, these are people that are in the conscious community, and I'm going to say 90% of them, if not 95. I think I'm being damn generous at 90%.
Mm.
That's not their concern. So if you're Mother Earth and you got some ungrateful bastards on you,
they gotta go.
They gotta go. I don't give no damn about what you talking about, player. That your skin is dark, this, that, and the third. You're out of here.
We're gonna be right back where we started.
Exactly. And that the reset that Brother Sean talked about, and what Brother Kali was talking about before he got left us, saying that these beings have been doing this over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It has been the consciousness of specifically the melanated people, because you are the strongest and the oldest, that has kept resetting to this bullshit.
Hallelujah.
And that has come to an end. And we see it on all fronts. We see it on all fronts, people trying to strike up new contracts. We just sit back and laugh. And we watch one after another go out, try to strike up new contracts. And that's on the melanated side as well as the Caucasian side.
Brother 7 said this is God making territory, right? He says this is what we're here for, to train, to go out there and be creators in the universe. This is boot camp here. And I always used to tell young people, this is your boot camp. What you do here is whether you learn to be better out there in the universe. Otherwise, you're not going to be worth squat. Exactly. Because you come here with the hard knocks of life to be better and to be conscious and to take care of your environment, your earth, your individuals, each other. And if you don't learn that, you're not going to be worth anything. And he said it. And then when you see these entities in the sky and they're floating around looking like animals or sea creatures, it makes me think of what he said about that the sky above us is denser and it's water.
Yep.
And we're
he
protected down here. I'm sorry?
I said he sure did. I was just co-signing what you're saying, sis.
Yeah, he said that. And I've been thinking about they're not really moving. They're just really kind of like swimming in the sky. And we're on here having to use the energy that we have inside this body to propel us from one place to the other. But one of these days when we'll be able to levitate to their level, we'll be able to move as fast as they move, maybe. So, or I'm sure we will. But see, I've been thinking of all these people that I've heard on the show that come with their ideas of what they have been remembering. And I remember what he said.
Yeah, and it's, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
All those entities that are floating in the sky, not just the ships, not just the spaceships,
right,
but the ones that are animal-looking. They seem to just be gliding along because they're in water. I'm trying to figure. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how we divide it if the firmament is still there.
Because here it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're inside the firmament with us. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, because here it is. And that's where I was going. So we was on the same wavelength. I was trying to get it out, and you was trying to ask it. Because it is a level of density.
Yeah.
Okay? Because as you breathe, you're still breathing in water.
Water.
The air is water, and we know that. Because if you sit a glass in humidity, what forms in that glass? Water.
Right.
So it is just the density level of the water. So we're able to float at any one of those levels, but it's based on your vibration. That's what levitation is all about. It's based on your vibratory level. And they already know how those big ancient buildings and stuff were built.
Or levitation.
It was levitation.
Yeah.
They can right now levitate with sound. All you have to do is tune into the proper frequency. But these are the things that we have forgotten because
even the water.
Even the water, and I've talked about this several times, and some people thought that I was talking out my ass when I said, I don't care if you're vegan or not, you are still supposed to be putting vibrations into your food. You are supposed to be giving thanks to the plants. You're supposed to be sending out good vibes or vibrations in your food that is going into your particular vessel. And folks look at you like you're crazy because they're still not getting it that you have to be in tune with everything on Mother. They're still not getting that fact that everything is energy, everything is vibration. These are things that we knew. Now, to get real deep with you, whole particular realm, if you step outside of this realm and you look down at this realm, I guarantee you're just going to see this round thing just vibrating. That's all you're going to see. This round thing vibrating.
That's true, because they said in some of these galactical communities where they believe in the galactical family, they said that the Earth is going to start vibrating so bad that the galactical family was going to come and stabilize it. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it through the switch or the planet, the pole shift. So I remember Chief Willie said something about the vibration is going to get so bad as well. So I was just trying to, because we can say what things are going to happen, but I wanted to tie it back to each person's responsibility in my mind, because we all have
very good questions. I said,
that
was a very good question, sis. So, absolutely. Our family is just energy. And what made me finally get it was when folks started, and I want to say, what is his name? Bonacci. I can't think of his first name. He was the first one to put out the information on what they are calling planets really are. And he was the first one that I saw show proof that if you zoom in on what they are calling planets, so if you zoom into Mars, if you zoom into Venus,
that one, I know what you mean.
It's just gonna be vibrating.
Yeah, energy sources, energy stations. But
exactly.
The whole body is electric. The whole body works on electricity. The heart, muscles, everything works on electricity. And, the ions and proteins and protons or whatever that's in our system, it makes us work. When that stops working, guess what? We kick up the toes. So, we are all energy, every bit of it. And sometimes your cells run down and you don't make it anymore. So I was just wondering, we vibrate not according to the pigmentation, but the frequency that's inside of us, and how we love and take care of our environment, this planet. I hate that environment stuff because they don't even know what that means. Because what they think the environment is so.
It's just another word riddled in a spell. That's all.
Yeah, it means it doesn't mean take the bus instead of driving. Going. Y'all guys don't get it.
Right.
That's not
but
what.
I mean, think about what you just said when you said that the body is electric.
Yes.
And I have been saying for the past month that we live in an electric universe.
Yep.
A natural electric universe. We pull the energy out of the air. Okay, and that's what that plasma is connected to what? In the blood, right? So that plasma electric energy is what we are supposed to be harnessing. So meaning, and see, that's what the gift of melanin does have, because it is both a conductor and it can put out energy. So that's why you have the special gift with melanin, because it is a perfect conductor. It adapts. It's very, very adaptable, all of that. So that's the gift that you have been given in this vessel. But with that said, everybody talks about immortality of the physical vessel. And all you have to do, especially now that Mother is upgrading her bloodstream or that plasma electric energy, which means she is vibrating higher, all you have to do is tune in to that grid. That's your key to the immortality. Yes, Brother Sean.
I just looking at things in nature on the whole. Everything that was natural was melanated. And anything in nature that was in the albinism stage was dying off. I mean, I just look at the fact that when they're trying to heal themselves or find cures, they're using albino mice and rats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a natural disposition to the sun. There's the fact that they've only been here for 6,000 years. There's the fact that everything and everyone has to go back to where they
came from, originated from.
So it's not a matter of hating them or saying what they are or aren't capable of. But you can care about other people all you want to. But if somebody didn't come out of your womb, they didn't come out of your womb, did they?
I got your point.
It's just a matter of what belongs and won't and what don't. I mean, anything that they've so-called learned as far as for spirituality, as this, that, or the other, they're being culture vultures. They're taking something of ours. It's nothing that they brought and created. So how could they be true to something that they're not a part of? Terraforming is being done or has been done in order for them to have an existence. I mean, they eat us. They use us to try and survive someplace they're not supposed to be. Through the very things that they put in them is going to have a natural rebellion in them because it didn't belong in them in the first place.
Then they won't make it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's certain things that's going to take place that we have to get out of our fucking human emotions about and realize what must be.
That's a point.
I'm not saying what he is or what ain't.
Right.
But we all know, and we know for the longest that since we've been under attack, they've been hollering, turn the other cheek. I mean, love is on different levels. Love is a being itself. It's a state of being. Love don't choose between good or bad. People love being in the lower frequency. So that don't mean that they're going to sin because they truly love being in dirt.
Right.
So it's not the fact that you love. It's that actual higher frequency.
Frequency. It's still frequency, exactly.
Right. But it's a frequency for what? Right. Higher thoughts or lower thoughts. People love this system.
Yes,
that's why they don't perish it.
Right.
But if love is the key to everything, the fact that they love the system, you would think that they would survive because they loved it. No matter of what you love and how you show your love.
Now, I agree with you on that. Because bottom line is, if you cannot be at the frequency, I don't care who and what you are, you're not going to make it. And that also includes you can't be borrowing somebody else's energy. You're not going to make it.
Right.
So to me, it's not. It's to me. Now this is just my little humble, lowly opinion. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Either you able to rock with it, or you can't survive it. You can't coattail ride nobody. None of that. You have to stand on your own, within your own pure energy, has to match the frequency and vibration. Period. So now if you're not meant to be here, you ain't meant to be here, and that's that. That's just me. White, black, mongoloid, doesn't matter. If you're not meant to be here, you're not meant to be here. Because even with the melanated folks, yes, sis, thank you. Santos Bonacci is the one that I was thinking about, who first put out the information showing that what they're calling planets are really just high vibrational energies. But it's quote, quote, black melanated folks that are not from here. They're not.
Exactly.
And I'm
going to say nice either.
Exactly. I could tell by the way they move in these streets. They're not from here. So let's not get caught all the way up on the white boy. You better be looking at the melanated people to see who is whom. Because truth be told, that's where a lot of the mixing went on. Huh?
Those was the ancient wars.
Exactly. Those were the ancient wars. And the ones, the melanated ones that are not from here, that should not be here, mixed in with the indigenous people blood. And that's why everybody all confused and discombobulated when it's melanated folks that are not from here. And they show me with their actions how they move in these streets. Their concern is not Mother Earth, the planet. Their concern is not their family. They are tied to these systems, meaning the government systems and all of those mental systems, because they were the main ones that stood those systems up as the indigenous people on this planet was losing the wars. That was the biggest trick pulled over on the melanated people. We are not the same just because we melanated. And you, as a melanated being, and if you are indigenous to Mother Earth, you are supposed to be recognizing who is whom by their vibration. And stop trying to force them to be something that they are not. Because I'm telling you, they're not going to make it. And if you think you can force them to try to make it because you want them to make it, you ain't going to make it either, goddamn. So that's all I have, y'all. So we're going to wind down. Sis Sandra, you have any last words for the family?
I just was on my learning curve tonight, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm glad to have Brother Kali to speak. To me, he was kind of like a celebrity. I was enjoying every bit of it.
Yes.
Indeed. And I just really appreciate how much information he imparts with what he learns by what he's looking at. And like you brought up, he doesn't just show you what he's looking at. He tells you what his higher self is saying, and you learn from what he says. So I'm grateful, and I hope everyone enjoyed the higher knowledge that we received tonight. It's pretty cool.
Indeed. Brother Sean, you have any last words for the family?
Ultimately, we've all been lied to.
Yep.
No matter what so-called color.
Right.
But we melanated folks know for a fact, to be certain about, know for a fact who our mama is and what we supposed to be doing for her.
Yep.
The rest of that, it's going to work out how it's supposed to work out.
That's right.
Because what we feel right now, and when everything fully comes online, what you're going to be doing then will be totally different from what you're believing right now. So, I mean, concentrate on you.
That's right.
The most important thing you can do is get yourself right. No matter what your nationality is, color, whatever. You need to be finding out who your folks is.
That's right.
And I know some of you other folks, all y'all ain't on that negative shit. Some of y'all know y'all ain't from here. I'm wondering if y'all got a way to get home. If there's a safe passage home. Let that show in your actions while the whole universe is watching.
Indeed. Very, very well said, Brother Sean. I do want to thank Brother Kali for joining us tonight. I truly, truly appreciate it. Again, you can check out his work at Kali Maat AmunRa on YouTube. I want to thank, of course, my co-host, Brother Sean and Sis, for rocking with me tonight and being patient with me as I got on my soapbox tonight. I truly appreciate it. I know, y'all know, God damn it, I get to going in. And thank you to the family for listening tonight, for being patient with us. We will be back next week. We are going to do King James Demonology Part 7. We should be concluding up next week. So we're going to pick back up with that next week. If we finish that up early, then we're going to go into the Black Royals of Europe, and then you're going to see how this thing comes full circle to where we are, to the point we are today, especially how those Black Royals of Europe connect to us here over in the Americas, the indigenous people of the Americas. So with that said, family, love you very much, and we will be back next week. Peace and love, and we're going to rock out with some Earth, Wind, and Fire. Peace and love, family.